What is up, everybody, on YouTube? To build a positive light experience, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's weird. Anyway, I got a pop-up when I went live. I didn't understand it. I'm about to go live on TikTok, so bear with me. We're going to get started. We're going to call it Spirit Airlines. Should be a great show today. Spirit Airlines. Can we? Let's do it. What is up, everybody? It's your boy, the Liberal Loudmouth, and we are back again for an impromptu show. Let me go find myself. Turn that down. Motherfucker. What's up, guys? What's up? What's up, Tay? Okay. I'm about to share it out. So once you get in, start sharing, reposting, doing all of the things. Let's get this out there so that other people can participate. I'm going to share it with all of my people. Right now, let's do this. We are live. Impromptu Spirit Airlines. All right. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with what's going on, Spirit Airlines is, going bankrupt, what have you. And this guy on TikTok made a joke about buying it up. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, because this game is rigged. And it ain't rigged in favor of us. It's rigged in favor of them. And we're about to find out the hard way. Leanne, what is up? It's so good to see you. The A is silent. Every time I see your name, I think in my mind, how is it pronounced? I'm still not 100%. Anyway, let me go grab my alt and bring my alt up here, and we'll get started. So once you guys are in, please start tapping the screen. Let's get that going. TikTok needs us to be active and interactive. Make your comments, share it, repost it, all the things. You know how we are supposed to do it. We can't be too lazy in the comments, I guess. See, now my TikTok app is fucking up again. I don't know. This thing has sucked ever since they bought it. Well, hello, Annie. And maybe, since it's the weekend, maybe some of my regulars are going to be able to participate. Quite possibly. Oh, it's not letting me. Oh, there we go. Okay. My request button was missing there for a second. Holy shit. Yeah, this thing is moving slow as fuck. Is it glitching for any of you guys? It's like I'll push a button and then it takes forever for me to come up. Yeah, this app is jacked, y'all. Come on. It ain't even gonna let my alt up, I guess. That's the last step for me. There we go. And now let me mute. Okay. Fuck. Finally got that done. What's up, y'all? What's up? And see, now you're at work on the weekend. See, what the hell is that? White girl. What's up, white girl? It did glitch when you push the button, but I see you. Yay. We're all here. Let's keep tapping. We got to get to 10,000 before 10 minutes. That's the number. So tap. Let's get that shit going. We'll get started once we get to, 2,500 taps. Let's do that. And then make sure you're commenting. That's another big thing. Commenting. If you see what the fuck. And now my TikTok just crashed on my phone. You son of a monkey. All right, let's try this again. Well, it's still showing me on, so what is going on? Man, they are really fucking some shit up here. I had to go back into my live with, what the fuck? Accept. Okay, that's some weird shit. That is some weird shit. All right, let me see who else is on here. So if you guys aren't aware, there is a crowdfunding effort to buy Spirit Airlines. And I'd like to talk about that. White girl, what's up?
Oh, what's going on? I'm 37, Oklahoma, Trump.
Oh, nice. Oklahoma, my stomping grounds. You
So
voted
you
for
live
Trump?
in Oklahoma? Wait, you live in Oklahoma?
I don't live in Oklahoma, but that's where I'm from.
Okay. Just making sure, because if you were going to talk crap to me, I was going to give you my address, and we could do a live debate. You've probably never done that before.
Actually, yes, I have. Are you familiar?
1315
Are you in
Southwest 21st
All right,
Street,
well, don't do.
Oklahoma
You
City,
can't do
Oklahoma.
that.
I'll be waiting then.
You can't do that on
I
here.
I can, because
No,
you guys are too scared to show up.
Okay, I don't even know
You
what's
guys want
going
to talk
on here.
crap to my face. Here's my
Okay, well, here, I'm just going to mute you. Don't come up here and dox yourself. That's stupid. Okay? Don't do that. I don't want you to do that. If you feel like you're froggy, then I guess jump. But here's the thing, white girl. The fact is that, yes, I have interviewed people on my show, including Monroe Nichols. Do you know Monroe Nichols?
Are you gonna mute me when I answer the question?
No, dude, you didn't shut up.
Well, I just gave you my address because if you want to talk crap or say anything disrespectful, you can just say it to my face.
I don't care.
Nothing on the internet.
If you're that butthurt, and we haven't even gotten into talking about what we're talking about.
I'm just giving my address.
Well, let me just ask you a question. Okay, white girl.
Shit on the internet, but not to somebody's face.
Okay, white girl. Let me ask you: do you think that the people should be allowed to collectively fund and purchase a company if they so choose?
Yes.
Did you know that you can't?
Yeah, I can. If I want to buy something, I can. If I have enough money, I can go buy an airline. I can. Yes.
You can't.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. If you have the money, you can do whatever you want in this world. Yes, you can.
And besides, that's not what I asked you. That's not what I asked you.
There we go again.
That's not what I asked you, white girl. Are you trans?
Yeah, I'm a trans woman.
Okay, so that's not what I asked you.
I have a wig and a dress on.
So put your okay, everybody, keep tapping because we're only at 1,500. But you didn't you're responding clearly. You didn't hear what I asked you. I asked you if you believe that people should be able to collectively put their money together and buy something, and you answered yes.
Yes, I don't care what anybody
wants to. And I'm saying
to.
that they can't.
Yes, they can.
The government has rigged this. They can't. The government has rigged this system. Okay. This guy is annoying. Okay. All right. I'm not going to put up with that. I don't even know what that is. Guy come up here doxing himself. Like, this dude is so emotional. Makes sense, I guess. What's up, Impacted? Jesus Christ. What's up, Impacted? Yeah. So, same question to you. Do you believe that if people want to put their money together and buy something, they should be allowed to do it?
In a relationship, if there's two people that want to put their money into one savings account, I feel like that should be okay.
How old are you? I have to ask because TikTok doesn't allow anybody that's under 18 on the panels.
All right, I'm going to be honest. I'm 13. I'll just leave, bro. My bad.
Okay. No, you're fine. Just know you can't come up on panels. You got to be 18. I appreciate the honesty. Thank you. I'd allow it, but this is like a rated XXX show anyway, so you probably don't want to hang around too much. MAGA forever. Typical white Democrats, they kick when they get scared. Right, or annoyed, which is the case here. Anyway, okay, do we have anybody that wants to come up and have an actual conversation as normal humans do? Not like white girl, and unfortunately you can't have children on here, but it is what it is. So here's my contention, is that once people, and let me just go ahead and I'll play the video actually. I may have to share it with myself. Where's this guy at? I downloaded it. So I'm going to send it to my phone. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to send this video to my phone so that you guys, in case you didn't see it already, you'll be able to know what it is that I'm referencing. I should have done this earlier, but better late than never, right? Give me a second. I got to pull up my quick share. Technology is great sometimes, got to say. Okay, there's that one. Okay, that one's done. Give me just a second. We're getting there. And this one. Fucking white girl. I don't even know. Like, it's Sunday. I thought all the crazies would be in church, y'all. But instead, they came all up on TikTok. They're like, pick me, pick me. All right, which one was first? I think this is the first one. Yeah, let me play this video. And of course, now my computer doesn't want to open the fucking. There we go. Crazy. All right, guys, keep tapping. We just hit 2,800. We got to get to 10K within the next. How long have we been live? Where's my thing? We've been live for. Oh, it's too late. We didn't get to 10K, so I'll probably have to shut it down and start again. Once this video comes up, though, damn it. What the hell? There we go.
Okay, so.
Is this?
It's been about 2.5.
Nope, that's not the one I'm going to play first. Okay, this is the one. All right, here is the video that sparked it, and it went like super viral.
Okay, I had a genius idea. Spirit Airlines just went bankrupt, right? I'm the guy that flew Spirit Airlines for 24 hours straight. There's more than 250 million individuals over the age of 18 in the United States. Now, if we took only 20% of them and paid basically the average fare of a Spirit Airlines flight, which is somewhere around $30 to $40, we could buy Spirit Airlines. This is a genius idea. We nationalize Spirit Airlines, owned by the people. Airline's gone. We make a new airline. Let's buy an airline. I should make a bet note for this.
Now,
okay, so
here's
it's been
the
about 2.5 hours, and y'all are really interested in all of us buying Spirit Airlines. So I made a website. It's called letsbuyspirit.com. Register your intent. I won't take any money. We're not going to use the Venmo anymore. That was kind of a joke. And we're going to try and, I guess, buy Spirit Airlines. Let's do this. You, me, I'm kind of autistic, and I really like airplanes. So vote for me as CEO. Are we actually doing this?
Now, I love the energy, right? I love the energy. I love the idea. We talk about this stuff all the time because the collective has a lot more power than people realize. The problem is that these motherfuckers have rigged this game to protect those rich people. They have, in case you didn't know, they have capped the amount that non-retail investors can put towards something like this. Over the course of a year, it's capped at $5 million. So a company cannot raise more than $5 million in a 12-month span in order to do this. They have to go through large retail accredited investors. That's the way they rigged it. It's back in 2012 is when they put this forward. And basically, in my opinion, it was to fuck all of us from being able to collectively buy the trash that came out of 2008. So once the crisis happened, the crash and all that shit, these large corporations were able to come in and buy up shit on a fire sale. I mean, they were paying like nothing for everything. They got retail space. They got a bunch of like restaurant equipment. They got all kinds of shit at a discount. And in order to keep people from being able to do it, they fucking capped the shit so that you couldn't do that. And it was we don't want anybody to be scammed. And so we're going to protect you by making sure that you can't invest in the way that they're talking about right now. So there might be some loopholes that they might be able to do, but they're not going to be able to give anybody a vote, right? Because that would turn into a security, which would then, trigger all of these laws. So I don't know if there's another way, but if somebody out there has any ideas, I'd love to hear it. Mozart, what's up?
Hey, my friend, how are you? I've been up to here on your panel a few times. I don't know a lot about the development for the past 24 hours in regards to the Spirit Airlines.
Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look real quick because I've got and forgive me, but since you're not sure, let me pull it up right here. There was such a huge response. It crashed the site. You currently cannot pledge. because it's, I don't know what's going on, but it's very costly. If you got millions of people going to your website, that costs a lot of money to maintain. So this dude's probably trying to figure that out. We're up to $22.8 million in less than 24 hours, y'all. Pledged, not actual money yet, but pledged. So that's the state of this thing. People want to do this, and it needs to be done, but they rigged it. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Correct. This is the same situation in regards to, you remember, with Ford and GM, and where government stepped in and they wanted to make sure that will quote unquote save it, right? It's typical way of American capitalist government does work, right? They tell us that they know best for us. In reality, they're not serving us at all. All what they're doing is behind the scene. God knows what connection they have with who, and the decision is probably already made at how they're gonna, invest their money in terms of, huge institutions, right? I believe personally. I know it's not the best thing happen. Let things go bad. If Spirit Airlines cannot survive, then don't let it, don't save it. It might be okay in the future, so people can start.
Okay, so you're talking about the government. You don't want the government to save it.
No, I don't want anyone to save it if it's not.
You don't want
working.
the people. Okay, but you do realize that the competitors saddled that fucking company with a bunch of debt. Like this was an attack.
Correct.
On that airline. So it wasn't even that they just, and certainly I'm sure that they didn't make the greatest decisions from time to time, but what happened to them was on purpose. And now I'm not saying that I want the government to come in and bail them out, but if the people collectively decide that they want to put $1.7 billion or whatever it is, the money that they're trying to raise, if the people collectively want to do that, they should be able to do that.
Yeah,
don't you agree?
I absolutely agree with that. I absolutely agree. But I'm just, in a general sense, if a company's doing bad, and like you said, behind the scene, how they set it up, try to funnel money out of it, that or whatever, I don't have enough information about the nature of that part. But generally, in my opinion, if a company's not doing great, nobody should build it up. Let it die so companies can learn from that. They can build a better company in the future, in my opinion.
Right. Well, if somebody else buys it, if the people buy it, turning it into a cooperative, if you will.
Correct. Yeah.
It's not the same company.
Correct. That's because people want to be part of it.
Right. Because what'll happen is all of those planes and all that stuff, the competitors are going to just buy it up on like for nothing. Those investors are going to get that stuff. But the fact is that in like Annie put it out there, I think it was Annie, you said it perfectly. You said they're okay with big investors and big corporations scamming us. And that is a fucking fact because that's what continues to happen. Well, we don't want you to like put your money out. And then if this thing falls through and this corporation never gets, created, well, now you've been scammed out of money. But if you were to buy a stock and it tanks, how is that not a fucking scam?
Stock is, Yeah, man.
Anyway, Born Rich, what do you think, man?
I don't know how this is going to work out, to be honest with you, because the creditors are going to force us into bankruptcy, because that's the only way a secure creditor can possibly protect their their money in Spirit Airlines. And any funds that go into any funds that Spirit Airlines has today going forward is going to basically get locked up in the bankruptcy trust. I mean, I don't know how they're doing this. I mean,
will you pay it back?
Well, part of the problem is that it goes by senior secured creditors first. It goes bondholders, senior secured creditors, secured creditors, and everybody else is unsecured, and they don't get a penny out of the bankruptcy trustee. So these assets are going to basically go towards paying off the creditors first. And it's my understanding that there's a tremendous amount of debt. Like, this would be the third time in the past 4 years that Spirit has filed bankruptcy, and they've had a workout plan under 11. What's going to happen now is a judge is going to force them to go into Chapter 7 liquidation. I mean, I've worked on these things before. I don't know how they're doing this. You know, I mean, this is up to the courts. It's not up to the people who are making these investments or making these donations. It's up to the court at this point. And the creditors are going to want their money out.
Yeah, if the creditors can, if the creditors can get their money out, what's the problem?
Yeah, but they want it out. Because they want it out, and essentially, what a bankruptcy court judge is going to do is going to make a determination as to whether this business is any longer viable, and force liquidation. So it's going to basically sell all the planes.
Isn't that up to, like, if people put their money out to buy all of these assets and they pay off these, you know, the people that are owed money, what difference does any of that other stuff make?
I don't know what the balance sheet looks like. I just don't know what their balance sheet looks like. But if they have more assets, I mean, if they have more liability, which they do, obviously, than assets at this point, or at least, you know, net assets, because that's all the judge is going to care about. I'm not so sure what the balance sheet looks like, but I mean, if they file bankruptcy, you know, potentially 3 times in the past 5 years, it's just not a viable business. And the judge is going to say, you just have to liquidate and go out of business. I mean, that's what a bankruptcy judge does, is it protects creditors. That's why the court's in place.
Okay.
How does it work practically? I just had a question.
I think the thing that, you know, you can focus on the nuts and bolts of the bankruptcy, but the fact of the matter is that the people who want to crowdfund essentially and make it into a cooperative and, you know, insert any business here, people aren't allowed to do that. And that's the problem to me.
Judge. No.
I'm saying that people cannot do what they're trying to do, whether it's Spirit or a viable business.
Well, I mean, what they can do is they could basically, I mean, what's going to happen is you know, is the company's going to be liquidated and the entity itself is going to be a hollow shell.
I think you're missing the point. And that's fine. Hassan,
No.
No, I think, you're missing the point.
You're missing your point.
No, you're completely missing the point, sir. I said you can get into the nuts and bolts. I'm saying that crowdfunding from the people is impossible currently. You can't do it in the way that they're talking about. You could take even a viable business if you wanted to take over, cooperatize it, nationalize it, and give the people with their small donations a vote. It's currently not possible. They force you into these large investor classes, so they get to decide. That's a problem for me.
No, I certainly
because that
agree
would
with
be
you.
considered socialism. That would be considered socialism, and these capitalists, they're not going to let it happen. So.
That's the complaint.
I mean, you do have shareholders that you'd have to basically buy out, right? And you'd have to basically tender offer for each of those shares. I mean, no. I mean, under the current structure, it's impossible to do that with a public company. Unless, you know, I mean, the only way you do is if the public company takes it private, then you just basically buy it out. But that's up to the public company. That's up to the public company.
I love that they're like, you know, they'll you know, sell this to you by saying, well, we're just protecting you to make sure you don't get scammed. Like that's the argument they make here. You know, it's okay for like non-accredited, you know, investors to fund, but there's a $5 million cap in a 12-month period. So, you know, so it's not possible to really make these huge. Because I mean, theoretically, you could take an entire hospital and buy that fucker if there was a, you know, way to wedge yourself in there, but you can't do it.
Well, I mean, essentially what you're talking about is you're talking about a private equity transaction here. You know, I mean, like if people set up a fund, right? Like if people set something up, everybody threw money into that, then the private equity entity could go and basically purchase that company and then operate it. That's what private equity does.
Yeah, but the moment somebody like gets a vote, though, therein lies the problem, because then it becomes a security.
Yeah.
And so you'd basically be like, trust me, bro, to somebody, crowd, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
they can get something for something, but you can't get something for your little bit of money. It really is. The system is rigged to fuck everybody. That's kind of the point. Now, Hassan, what's up, man? Welcome in.
What's up, brother? Thank you so much for having me up here. I mean, I was just listening for the last like maybe 1 minute, but one thing I would like to add is look at companies like BlackRock and Vanguard. Trillions of assets that they manage as asset management companies and wealth management companies. Like literally, when you walk into Walmart and do your grocery shopping, you think that you're buying different brands from different companies when it all funnels down to four companies that own everything. The monopolization of the country itself, America, and then the resource hogging from all around the world and monopolizing the resources of the world, the natural resources, for this superpower that is currently running the show. I mean, in my opinion, this is unfair more to American citizens than it is to the rest of the world.
True. Well, look, do you think that in Born Rich, maybe this question is to you, do you think that people, once they realize it, because the average person doesn't know anything about securities, they don't know anything about finance, right? They don't understand how these things work and how investing works. And so to them, if they're like, well, if I give $45 to a cause and then 20 million other people do that, now we've got this huge pot of money and we can go buy something. Your reasonable average person is going to think that there's nothing wrong with that, right? But I think most of us can acknowledge that that's the case. What do you think is going to happen when they realize, in this instance, especially with Spirit, that it's not possible? And that the game has been rigged so that you have to go to, oh, please, Daddy, please send us some money because you're an accredited investor and you have lots of money, right? Do you think that this is going to spark some outrage, maybe? Oh, thank you, Ray Day. I appreciate that. Hey, guys, please keep fucking tapping. Tap that screen. Leave your comments. TikTok wants us to do that. We're not even to 10,000 yet. I don't know. I can't tap for you, okay? But what do you think the response, Born, is going to be when people realize it? That even on this level, they can't do anything?
Well, I think it's an incremental response. I think what this will do is basically, as you said, that there's a lot of people who really don't have a knowledge of this. And I think what it'll do is it's going to illustrate what the underlying problem is, right? And I think, as Hassan said, which is right on point, I mean, if you go into a grocery store, I mean, most of the groceries there are manufactured and sold under the umbrella of maybe 4 or 5 companies.
Right.
And there's so much consolidation, there's so much price control, there's so much food quality control, right? The food quality in this country stinks, and a lot of that is because there's not enough competition. And hopefully something like this is going to elevate people's interest and curiosity and knowledge about how our financial system, how the capitalist system in this country is basically broken and isn't helping the common person. It's helping, a handful of people, like 1 or 2% of the population who are in the business and who are basically pulling down multi-$10 million bonuses every year. Because they're structuring all these deals. I'm sorry?
No, I'm saying that you're absolutely right, and who pays the highest price to that? The average American citizen, who is oblivious to the fact that what they take off his paycheck, he thinks is going to better off his own country when it's going to stuff like funding wars that are not in Americans' concern. Like when you accumulate the fact that American soldiers have sacrificed and have suffered 20 years in Afghanistan, 10 years in Iraq, and came back, and now the status quo is that Taliban controls Afghanistan. Iraq was left in shambles, and ISIS was initiated after the instability and chaos that was caused. So, as an American who literally sacrificed the most important thing in your life, which is time, spending time with your kids, you thinking that you are doing what you're doing, protecting them back home, making sure they're safe, you're fending for them, when then the reality, weapons of mass destruction was a lie. Taliban is in control of Afghanistan. I mean, that is like betrayal in all its definition, you know? And that is why we've seen a big shift and a big change in Americans' mentality towards their government. They realize that they don't, at the end of the day, they don't care about the American people, the 300 million citizens. They care about the 1% who is competing against each other for selfish interests.
Which this helps to prove. And for the record, somebody asked me what I had on the screen. That is, and this is, the crowdfunding regulation here. Maximum offering of $5 million in 12-month window. This is, you can look this up. It's on sec.gov. This stuff is there. It is all rigged to protect this class of people who found themselves on an island raping children. Let's just be clear about that. Most of those people, including Epstein himself, were really involved in this shit. Putting these fucking little rules that protect their shit and make sure that you have to go to daddy to get any money. Fuck these people. I'm so sick of it.
You know what's the ironic part about it? The ironic part about it is that those people are like the mafia. They're above the law. So anything that they do, not a single soul on this earth is capable or have the means to stop this small ass group of people. They're lawless. They're above the law. They're mafia. I mean, this is the reality, isn't it?
No, I don't think it is.
Hey, welcome in, Ski Bum.
Hey,
well, real quick, Ski Bum hasn't said anything. I appreciate your patience. Did you want to weigh in? Please go ahead.
So I think I'm going to start at a macro level, right? And I think one of the things we don't think about, and I loved your comment about that Americans don't understand finance. Because if they did, there would only be one thing that we talked about, and it's that in the big beautiful bill, there are a lot of tax cuts. Agree or disagree?
A lot of tax cuts in the big beautiful bill? Sure.
Okay. We're adding $200 billion a month to the national debt. I'm just going to tell you that is true. Okay. We will go from 39 to like 40 or 41 trillion this year. So we're really, if you consider those two things, we are financing tax cuts with debt. Right now, listen, if our bills are about $7 trillion a year, we only spend money on four things, right? Everybody knows that. We spend money on Social Security, healthcare, defense, and interest on the debt. It's 63% of all government expenditures. Just believe me.
And ballrooms. Don't forget ballrooms.
Yeah, right. Well, that's the funny thing. And I know that you're being a little facetious, but yes, when we talk about like ballrooms, right, and giving USAID aid, right, it's like it's $100 million, right? And think about having $1 million 401k and being down $100. Like, you're not going to lose sleep over, hey, I got my statement this month. I went from $1 million to 999, right? We don't lose sleep over that. Like we lose $500,000. Yeah, right. We're up, not being able to sleep.
When I lose $500,000, real quick, it doesn't even bother me.
No, not $500,000, but in the context of you having $1 million in your 401k and losing $100, right? It's not much. Right. We'd all agree on that. Sure. $1 trillion is a million, right? So when you consider giving $100 million to someone in the context of us borrowing $2 trillion a year, it's not much, right? So when people are like, well, we have all this, the Doge guys came in, and I don't think Doge was a bad idea in and of itself. Like, should we have people, maybe outside observers, looking at efficiencies in government? I think most people that are reasonable go, yeah, that's not a bad idea, right?
Okay, well, of course, of course, it's not a bad idea to like audit and make sure that money is being spent and not wasted. That's what our inspectors general were doing. So, you get rid of those and bring in a bunch of like douche nerds that come into, like these guys have been on the planet for like 12 minutes.
Yeah,
right.
That's different.
And then bring all of those things together. Not such a great deal. But I'm not really sure. So I think the conversation really is about how the system is fucking us, generally speaking, and protecting them in little subtle ways. Like, for example, you can only get $5 million a year if you want to crowdfund some money from your average Joe to protect them. But
now it's like, and I use this term, it's like a 3 standard deviation from the mean argument, that most people aren't investing through crowdfunding anyways, right? It's like you have 1 million people, 7 do it, right? So I'm not so concerned about that. And I don't necessarily think more people would, right? Most people save systematically through their 401k, 403b, 457 plans.
But we're not, okay, so I don't know if you were here during the Spirit Airlines videos.
No, but that's what brought me up, and that's why I'm interested in being here.
Right. So we're talking about, and I'm not even talking about somebody wanting to turn their $45 into, $90. That's not what it's the principle of the thing. You've got this moment to take control over something, nationalize it, essentially make it not for profit. That's kind of the vision I would have of this thing, where you're operating at cost, right? And to drive down the price of these things, and so the people have a say in something.
But they couldn't even operate at cost. They were losing $2 billion a year.
And I think that people would be better able to figure that out, because once you have people in there that aren't just stifled by greed and stifled by the investor class, then you can operate from a completely different standpoint. And that in and of itself might actually remedy some of the problems that Spirit Airlines has.
Here's the problem that you need to reconcile.
Well, the point isn't running the airlines, right? The point is being able or not being able to buy it in the first place, which is a problem. I don't know anything about running an airline. Never done it. Probably never going to do it, right?
Apparently, they didn't either, host.
Well, I mean, they did it for a while, right? This is a matter of other people. Look, I'm not going to get into the weeds. The point is that this system has set it up so that you and I cannot take something over, make a cooperative out of it, turn it non-fucking profit, give people the vote that they deserve in a system or an industry, and they've said, no, you can't do that. And I have a problem with that. Are we okay with that?
Can I mention something on this one, please?
Yeah,
so go ahead. Mention something, please.
Yeah, I'll sit back.
Because there's an underlying issue here. There's an underlying issue. The reason why you have limitations, right? The Securities Exchange Act of 33. Here's my background, right? Basically, it's something called Regulation D that allows basically private placement investment. Okay, there's specific limitations on Reg D because it's an unregistered security. That's what we're talking about here. So it's not because the SEC is saying you can't do it. It's actually ingrained in statute. Okay,
wow.
So
which
there
is
are
the
limitations
system.
of $5 million. Right. I mean, all I'm saying
that's
is there's limitations of $5 million. And also, you have to be a qualified investor, and there's a definition.
And there you go. Which is what I've been saying this whole time. Is nobody listening?
Right. No. Okay. No, I was just giving what the background, the foundation of this comment is from the SEC. It's basically Regulation D investment, securities, Regulation D securities.
Well, the $5 million cap, that came in 2012. It was born, from the 33 stuff, but it came in 2012. It was a, compromise between Republicans and Democrats. Right. But they're trying to save you. But either way, if you go back to 1933, you just can't invest it all anyway. And they're like, well, we'll let a little bit because if you want a small business, but the game is still rigged to keep us from being able to use our money collectively to take shit back.
Right, but I don't know if you read Sorkin's book, but Sorkin's book really covered why. So when you read Sorkin's book, you kind of see the shenanigans that went on in 25, 26, 27 before, all the regulations in Roosevelt, right? And what happened was all the things that you're advocating for happen, and people that were not as educated lost a lot of money because of the shenanigans. And what they said was, shenanigans are okay for people that have $10 million, but it's not okay for Jeff to lose all of his life savings because he didn't understand what he was doing, right? And they bifurcated and said, people with $10 million know more what they're doing than a person that is making $8 an hour, right? And that's the general principle, and that's why. And you think it's like okay for these people to be predators on those people? The SEC was like, not so fast.
Okay, so it's interesting you put it in that way, which is what I said, that people are arguing why this is a good thing, because you're too fucking stupid to get it, right? And that somebody's going to come along and they're going to ask you to invest in this business, and then when the business fails and you don't get your money back, well, you just got scammed, and we got to protect you from that. I'm sorry to tell you this, they're still scamming everybody. They still scam these people down at the bottom, and those people, when they do it, they don't actually go to jail. You see, if you intend to commit fraud on somebody, that's a crime. So you don't need to put in this apparatus of, oh, well, we're just not going to allow these idiots down at the bottom, the ones that do all of our labor. We're not going to let these idiots collectively put their money together to buy anything because they're too stupid and they might get scammed. Instead of, when those people prey on people like that, they go to fucking jail. Look at Bernie Madoff. For some reason, they were able to collect like 93% of all the money that dude bilked out of his own people, right? Only time that's ever happened.
Right? Do you know why that happened?
Why? What happened? Why Bernie
built an SEC auditor in his office, and all he had to ask was one question, which was, can you show me your financial statement? And the kid didn't ask the question because Bernie was like president of the NASDAQ at the time. But had he just said, hey, let me just see your balance sheet, and Bernie said, I'm waiting for this guy to ask this question because the gig's up, and the guy never asked. Like the audit that the SEC did was incomplete, and had they just done their job, the whole Bernie Madoff happened because some guy didn't do his job. That's an amazing thing to me.
Well, but he still got scammed. He was still scamming people, right?
He scammed people
and when
because
it comes
the law
to
didn't
that
work.
group of people, though, the government does everything they can
to protect
to get that money back. It's the only time in history that high of a percentage of recollection of money has ever happened under any scam. And a lot of times when this happens, the people that did it, they don't actually go to jail, or when they do, they go to some fucking rich jail. Look at Wolf of Wall Street, and we talk about we can't allow the public to invest collectively to take over these industries because they're too stupid.
Well, but here's the problem, though, is that they have to protect them, because then a bunch of people would get together and support an industry like this where the CEO's losing $2 billion a year.
Yeah,
I mean, here's what's
stocks,
really interesting.
Like stocks?
No.
A stupid person could go and buy a bunch of stocks in a business right now that then loses a bunch of money, and then they lose out on their life savings. 401k, you could put your entire life savings into that. And if the stock market crashes, guess what happens? You lose all your money.
When is the market? When is the market at a 0% return for 10 years or more?
I mean, I don't know.
Never.
I don't know.
Never.
How many times have people lost their money?
Right.
A lot.
Right. There is a here. Warren Buffett said,
the housing
when people
crisis,
sell shares, they go back to their original owners.
The point is that you are telling people that they are too stupid to be allowed to make a decision for themselves.
That's not what I'm saying at all.
No, that's what they're saying, and you appear to be
what I'm saying
in support of that. Are you in support of preventing people from being able to crowdfund money in that way? Is that what you're saying?
I am absolutely fine with crowdfunding to a certain point.
What point?
Well, I think the point where, I don't know, maybe I'm okay with it, right? I mean, if someone has, more than $5 million to throw at something, I I think it just starts obfuscating rules and regulations that are set up to promote efficient markets. And if you could tell me that those two things didn't, overlap or collide, I might be like more apt to, listen, I'm on the fence with it. I'm not saying you're wrong. I mean, if someone has $20 million to throw at something, how does that not make him an accredited investor?
Well, I mean, I'm not even talking about people with $20 million. I'm talking about people that are like, because the pledge for the Spirit Airlines.
$5 million. You said you can go up to $5 million with crowdfunding.
No, the company cannot gain more, up to $5 million in non-accredited investments.
Okay, so that's what the rule is.
Right. So, like, you're $45, you're a non-accredited investor. And so you can't go and get more than $5 million from people who aren't in that game.
Yeah, so what you're saying is a company that's bigger than $5 million really has to be more thoroughly
You got to go to Daddy and say, Daddy, please, can I have some money?
You have to be vetted.
Right.
It's like getting into the presidential ball, right? There's a difference between a guy trying to run through the thing and they don't let him in and, Tucker Carlson who gets a pass and they know who he is. Like getting on a plane, right? You have to walk through a thing.
Right.
Like they just don't let anybody in a plane. The safest place in America is where you go and get on your Southwest plane, period. No one's ever been pew-pewed there. Prove me wrong.
Fair. Now, Hassan,
guys,
you've been trying to...
If I jump in one more time?
Well, I think Hassan had been trying to say something, but I mean, Hassan, do you want to go after?
Hassan.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Hassan.
I can go after Born Rich.
Okay, Born Rich, go ahead, man. And everybody keep tapping, please.
I was just going to say, I don't have any issue with crowdfunding. I think crowdfunding's fine. I think, as Steve Baum said, that we do have certain regulations in place to protect investors, and those are all types of investors. That's just not, it's not mom and pop investors. It's also large investors, most of the private money coming into these types of bailouts, let's say, like white knight investors are coming out of family offices, very wealthy families who manage their own money, are coming out of like investment banks who take a certain position in these, kind of bailout situations. Like I said, when I was in banking in New York, I worked on a few of these things. They're very complicated. You have to work with other creditors. You got to make sure that you've got something, a direct line to the actual assets of the company. I'm sorry, but it's very complex. And there's a lot of obstacles.
But don't you think it's on
and
purpose?
I've got to be also, I got to tell you something. The only thing that I would not want to ever have to run, other than an airline, is probably a restaurant. Airlines are extremely hard to make a profit on. You've got a lot of headwinds, a tremendous amount, a lot that you can't control.
Funny you should say that, because me and my family, we opened a restaurant here in Houston, and it went under in less than a year. It's a small family-owned restaurant. Yeah, 90% of them.
Hardest business, because you don't have controls over your costs either.
Hey, Born Rich, can I ask you a question?
No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I've been waiting to
I
speak.
think Hassan's supposed to go.
Yeah.
Thank you. There's a couple of points I want to touch on. We failed to mention in this conversation the fact that America is the superpower of the world. America claims to be the land of the free, the home of the brave, the land of opportunity. They boast about how the American US dollar is the dominant currency of the whole world. Nothing runs without the US dollar. Okay, and with that being said, let's take a look at America and the American citizens. If you own your own car, and if you have a house that you have a mortgage on, you're better off than 70% of the nation of America. When there is 0.01% of Americans that have billions and billions. I want to end and land the plane by giving you this statistic or fact. If you go and search, look, if let's say you are a person who lived for 100 years, you have worked in those 100 years of your lifetime, every single hour you worked and you made $100 per hour, I think it was. You can fact check me on that. Not a single hour off in the 100 years of your life. Do you know how much you'll end up making?
I don't know. How much are you making? What is your wage?
Less than 20% of $1 billion. Look, you.
How much was the wage?
Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up for you. But what I'm saying is that you are a person who lived for 100 years. You have worked every hour of those
yes.
years.
I get it, but you didn't start with how much? $100 an hour. Oh, I see. Okay, I do remember you saying that.
Yeah.
That's my bad.
No, you're good, man. If you calculate that, fact check me, you will make about 20% of $1 billion. Now we have 0.01% of this country that buys and sells for 40 billion, 100 billion, when the rest are dying to live check per check. This is very wrong.
And worked every hour of every day of your life. I'm going to run this through. How much would that be?
Yeah, and can I ask Think Rich or Born Rich a quick question?
Let's see. Yeah, real quick. That is $8.7 million, guys. Think about that. You work, okay. So every hour of every day for 100 years at $100 an hour, $8.7 million.
And host, you have somebody like Elon Musk buying X Twitter for $40 billion.
And he's getting $1 trillion over a 10-year window.
Insane, bro.
That's quite the perspective. Wow.
Yeah, I hate to say, but that's like the average bonus for a managing director at a big investment bank in the M&A or the capital markets group.
So, Born Rich, I had a question for you.
And that's okay? Like, is that fair?
No, it's not. I'm just saying. I mean, just put it into perspective.
So, Born Rich,
there's something we can do to change that.
Here's what I want to happen from this Spirit Airlines thing, because a lot of people jumped on this, right? I know we're kind of going off of this, but I want people to be pissed about it, because most people don't understand how rigged the system is against them, because this isn't something that you come across in your everyday life. But I mean, think about that. You got somebody telling you that you can't put $45 towards something in a big pot of money with 20 million other Americans to buy something collectively so you have a say in it. They won't let you do it. I hope people get absolutely enraged by this. So that's what I want to see.
Born Rich, so let's just say that you went to grad school and every first class you took, the professor wrote on the board, management's sole objective is to increase shareholder wealth, right? So you know this by the time you graduate, that your job as a manager is to increase the stock price so our shareholders are wealthier. Okay,
Fuckers.
So let's say that you know that. So how do you reconcile a management team losing $2 billion a year with that objective? Think Rich.
I mean, I've said a million times, I'd have to look at the balance sheet. I have to look at the financial statement on these companies. I have no idea, like, what their burn rate is as far as their money. I mean, but it was
terrible. Right, and so as a fiduciary, let's say that you're a CFA and a fiduciary. How are you putting institutional money in this place?
You and I are on the same page. This is the fifth bankruptcy potentially in 4 years, and I don't know if you heard me say that this isn't up to the investors. This is up to the bankruptcy court. Okay, the bankruptcy court judge basically has to make a determination as to whether this is really a viable business model and protect the senior. Like secured creditors first, the bondholders, right? I mean, like all the equity holders are out,
done.
Like they're shit out of luck, right? And then
at least the planes.
Out of luck,
but even if the planes are leased, what do you do? Like the planes are leased, so there's no equity in those planes. They're leased.
No, I mean everything's leased in that. I mean all the aircraft.
Yeah. So what protection do the bondholders have?
The banks who are leasing it the banks who are leasing are going to take them back.
Right.
I mean that's how it works, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's no. I mean, I remember. Look, I'm 62 years old. I remember People's Airline. I mean, I have the same problem.
Remember Trump Airline?
People's Airline was different. People's Airline actually had tremendous problems, but then they basically went out of business when one of the pilots landed in the Everglades and everybody on the plane died, right? So that was the end of that, but that, like we're in a situation, look, if it's not a viable business, it's not a viable business. It's not a viable business model, and they've been struggling now for years. And frankly, affordable air travel or like economy air travel has never worked. I don't know how Ryan like is still working, like Ryan Airline.
Well, look at Frontier. Frontier's doing okay. They have a pass you can buy for like $400 and you get free flights. I'm like, why sell something for $400 if you're willing to pay $1,000?
I have a problem with the way we do airlines in general. It's prohibitively expensive. I went to go from Jackson, Mississippi to Tulsa, Oklahoma, which is like a couple of hours on a plane. It's like $800. $800. Like what? Yep. This is getting absurd. And if you remove competition from it, it's going to harm the industry because they're just going to jack up the rates because everybody around Spirit copied what they did and basically forced them out by the fact that they have a bunch of other assets. They have more assets, more planes, more flights, more routes, more all of these things. And so the people are going to get fucked here.
The thing with Spirit that was interesting was...
I'm so sorry. Can I just... My voice is going to sound strange. I jumped up here to say I hopped up on my vibration board so I could tap for you. You needed to get it in today anyway.
That's funny.
But you'll have seen the freaking spike. But people, I can't stay on here. I've got to get off soon. I'm like jelly now. I've gone 10 minutes over my usual routine. Please keep tapping. This guy deserves it. Hashtag FY Fritzy. But I've done 10 minutes over my 20 minutes now. So please, guys, for the sake of my legs, tap the fucking screen. Right, drop me down there.
Your brain's bouncing around that skull.
That is fucking hilarious. No, I appreciate that. Now, guys, that's some dedication right there, y'all. Okay? So tap the fucking screen. Help Ekate out. I appreciate that. That's funny. No, and I also have gifting goals. So one of the things I learned from the new agent is that it isn't the number of gifts. It's that you hit the gifting goals. So I try to keep them as low as possible, like 20 here, 25 there, or whatever. So if you help me meet those gifting goals, it'll help push it out also, apparently. And panelists can tap. But okay, so I just am just so enraged by how obvious it is to me that the politicians get bought by these rich guys to do things that keep and protect their wealth, so that their daddy, they get to determine all of these factors. They get to say these things, and you have to go to them for all of this stuff. I just want the public to be as enraged by it as I am. Does it not bother, Bourne, does it not bother you as much that they've put this in where it's prohibited now, essentially? And Ray Day, thank you for that.
Well, I've seen a lot of investors get screwed. And there's, so I'm a little bit, I think, aligned with Ski Bum on that one because, look, we have a tremendous amount of greed out there, and maybe this might be a legitimate thing. I have no idea, right, with this, crowdsourcing to save Spirit Air. But crowdsourcing has been a problem since it really became kind of in vogue. There were a lot of startups that started crowdsourcing, and frankly, nobody knows where the hell the money went because there's no auditing process and there's no requirements. So it's look, I would love to save a company that is going to provide affordable, flights for for everybody. But I have mixed feelings about it, frankly.
Can I give a quick comparison?
Sure.
Just to highlight the point. Look, America is the superpower of the world. America boasts about its economy and its freedoms, its First Amendment, Second Amendment. Okay. And then compare America to Iran. Iran was under sanctions for 40 years. Iran was struggling economically. Hold on.
Go ahead.
The
I got Lisa. Lisa had some echo. I muted you, Lisa, but whenever I get to you, just unmute yourself. Thank you, Kara. But go ahead, Hassan, please.
Thank you, bro. The point I'm trying to make is that if you compare those two countries and you look at the status quo today, the fact that Iran and America are in conflict and the invincible, mighty American industrial military complex have had an extensive history of failure, and today we can see that a country that is as sanctioned and as poor and as suffering as Iran is able maybe to not compete with America, but they were able to get them to sit down and negotiate. They were able to resist. And when you look at the power dynamics, man, when you spend 25 times more than all the countries combined on your military, and you boast about the 800 military bases around the world, yet when we look at the results of Afghanistan,
how does this relate to the power of people? Because really, that's kind of the topic that we're talking about. Like I'm not disliking what you're saying. I'm trying to figure out how that's relevant to what we're talking about.
Let me tie it and wrap it up real quick. Look,
sure.
The people, 300 million Americans, they were sold narratives that were false as how President Trump ran his campaign on weapons of mass destruction was a lie. Now, how many American families and troops have sacrificed and lost so much, and then realized it was all for nothing and all for lies? Who is responsible here to make it right for those people? You know, those people are responsible. They have the power to make a change. I'll land with this one statement. America, the superpower of the world, when the government decides it wants to do an action, like for example, kidnapping the Venezuelan president, what entity on this earth will be able to stop them? None, right? The only people that are able to stop America from doing what it wants to do as a government is the American people, because they have the freedoms, they have the rights that supports them to make a change in the system that is rigged.
Okay. I'm still not sure how that factors into what we're talking about, but Green Gosh, welcome in. What's up?
Hello, sir. I can add to what he's saying. You're looking to connect what Hassan said with the prompt, which is the people power. I guess game is rigged. So I think the direct action that the American voter has to comprehend is that we need basically an FDR policy to remake how the U.S. functions on a very deep level. So people like Lena Khan, people like Mamdani, we have to reimagine government. We need competent professionals in government. We need to stop. The federal government spent like 30 years outsourcing all the core competencies to like Booz Allen type consulting companies. So the federal government is kind of like dumbed down. So that's why we can't do public projects. That's why we can't like build trains. That's why we can't do public policy effectively. So, and also that affects foreign policy. Like as Hassan said, the U.S. military performed very poorly. I mean, we put a clown in charge of the Defense Department, but even in that case, right, we spend a huge amounts of money on very expensive weapon systems that don't work. We spent huge amount of money on military bases that don't work anymore. If you look at Ukraine, they're telling us the guy just the head of their drones unmanned systems division in the military, saying like they have a 1 to 100 cost competitive ratio with Russia, so they can spend $40 million to destroy $4 billion of Russian infrastructure and military equipment. So, but to do these changes, like it requires the American voter to understand.
Thank you, J. Girl.
I'll land my plane. So basically, just tying what Hassan is saying, the people power. The only way to make a change for the U.S. to be functional going forward and not self-destruct and stupidity is for the American voter to understand what just happened. I think in New York City they do, and they see Mom Downey executing, and they got to vote. And they got to vote and get people like Lena Khan back into office to break up.
You think that voting is going to fix this?
Voting is the cleanest, most efficient way to do this, but we have to motivate voters. And the way to motivate voters is, unfortunately, voters have to suffer. So actually, Iran, it's kind of sick for me to say this, and I don't like saying this, is doing us a favor by giving us a light tap on the shoulder. You know, our U.S. troops, U.S. military gets a bit humiliated, so we understand the problem. And American voters who only vote on gas prices, which, by the way, is really selfish, and I think
stupid.
People who don't vote and act on a moral basis first are always going to end up losing on the economic side and lifestyle side, because we get richer by doing win-win arrangements with people around the world. And that's why America is the way it is today, is because we have military bases in other countries. Like, Middle East is a mess, I'll say that, but at least Europe and Asia, it's a win-win. That's why the Philippines asked the U.S. military to leave. And I'm afraid that until Americans get really fucking pissed and start, burning shit down or whatever, I don't think voting is going to get us out of this. We've been voting our way into this mess for my entire life. It's always, you can't vote for that other guy because that other guy is really bad. I'm not the greatest, but I'm not as bad as this guy. That's really the options, because the parties are gatekeeping us. The parties are led by these same fucking people that make us go, please, Daddy, can I get some money from you so that we can collectively all buy this fucking thing and take over this industry? No, you can't do that, because in order for me to do that, I have to have control of this thing, and I'm not going to just do it because it's the right thing to do. I'm going to do it because it benefits me personally. This is the problem, and until we fucking get rid of that shit and this mentality, I don't think voting's going to fucking fix it, because the voting itself is within a system that was designed fucked up in the first place. There's no mechanical way to change it outside of voting. And Danny and Plattner
Can I push back on that? Once you're done, Green Gosh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just going to say, I think voting...
There's no mechanical way to change it, huh?
Yeah, well, short of opening Pandora's box.
All right.
You could look at Syria and look at what happens when you open Pandora's box. You never know what's going to come out the other side.
You don't, but you know Syria. What you're stuck with. Example. You may not know what's on the other side, but you know if you stay in the situation, it ain't getting any better.
Host, let me give you an example that happened recently. Okay, a country like Bangladesh or a country like Nepal. Do you know that in the
one more fan to meet that goal, guys? One more fan, please keep tapping. Go ahead, Hassan. Bangladesh.
Thank you. Bangladesh and Nepal both had natural revolutions and regime changes that happened. Like, for example, in Nepal's case, that happened about, I think, a year or a year and a half ago. The Nepali youth, the Gen Zs, the college students, they took it upon themselves, okay, without any influence from anywhere around the world. They were fed up of their government, and they went out on the streets. They sacrificed their lives. A lot of people lost their lives, but they made a change. They did it. They managed to reach their objectives. Bangladesh did exactly the same thing, and you can fact check me on those. Okay, now these countries that I'm mentioning are third world countries. These are not the superpower of Earth. These are not the countries that boast about freedom of speech, about the right to fend for yourself and bear arms and all that. It's not the land of the free or the home of the brave. These are countries that are, suffering. Their economy is shit. Their governments are corrupt. But they managed to change the status quo naturally. So why is it that the 300 million Americans who boasts about their freedom and about how great their country is and how about they have human rights like no other, how can they not change the system and the status quo if it doesn't represent what they believe in and what their principles are?
I mean, that's the $1 million question, isn't it? How do you do it?
I think the American people underestimate their power as a collective, and I think the American government overestimates their power and underestimate their enemy. And the way I would prove that to you is if you look at the strategy of the American military when they go and infiltrate countries like Iraq or like Iran or like Libya, for example. What's the strategy? Decapitate the head and the body will fall. Unalive Saddam Hussein, Iraq will be a better place. Unalive Gaddafi, America would be, Libya would be a better place. Unalive Khomeini, Ayatollah in Iran, and Iran will be a better place. All of those incidents have proved to be a failure, and they never changed their strategy. They're still doing the same exact thing.
Okay, now Carpe Diem, welcome in. Did you want to add to this before I get to world peace? It's like, fuck you, I'm out of here. I don't like this game. All right, world peace. Go ahead, man. What's up?
Hey, thanks for having me up. I appreciate that. It's not the reason I came up. A question for you hoes.
You're breaking up. You like every half word we caught there.
He's talking about.
Yeah, you're breaking up real bad. We can't hear you, man.
You sound like voting's not going to make a difference. You said to burn it down. I don't know if you literally mean, we're starting over from scratch. What is your objective as far as starting over here with the financial system?
Are you talking to me or Hassan? I thought I heard Hassan's name in there. What I would like to see is that people realize.
Can you hear me okay? Am I breaking up?
Yeah, you were. You're having issues. You got bars right now. But what I'd like to see is the people be able to vote their way out of it. But over my entire lifetime, that's never been true. And in fact, the people that have the money and have this influence and their friends are all the same people that flew to Epstein. They've been gatekeeping politicians and, people that you are even allowed to cast a vote for. And so the next step is economic issues. People stop paying their fucking bills. People stop paying their credit cards. People take their money out of commercial banks and put it into credit unions, doing all the little things that they can do to fuck the people that are fucking us. And if that doesn't work, what are the other options? There aren't many. And we're starting to see some of those options. I'd rather not go down that road, but I also don't want to exist in a system that wants to kill me.
Okay, but if you took 100% of everybody that's on the Epstein list, you put them in jail for 100 years. So you eliminated that problem. But I'm talking about now, you're saying deal with credit unions, not the banks, and that would achieve what?
So you pick one thing out of like 6 or 7, and you think that's the only thing that I think we should do?
Well, no, I'm just asking because you
that is part
that,
of. There are many things that you do. That is one of those things that you can do.
All right, but what's something else you would do besides transferring funds from banks to credit unions?
Okay, I'm not going to repeat myself. Was I cutting out? What's going on here? Do you listen? I don't mean to be an asshole, but if you're going to come up and be disrespectful by the fact that I literally just offered like 7 things to you, and bro's like, well, let me just pick one of those. And let me forget the fact that he said a bunch of other things.
Right, but why don't we just focus on that one? I don't understand.
Why would you focus on that one? Why would you focus on that one?
That's what I heard. That's what came to mind. Because you just mentioned that.
Why would you focus on that one? Do you not understand how moving your money from a commercial bank into a credit union might impact the economy and or the rich people? Do you not understand how that might have an impact?
Sorry, guys.
Not really.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks, Green. I appreciate it, man. Really. You don't. Okay, so commercial banks have a stranglehold on a lot of things, right? Credit unions are cooperatives owned by the members. And so if you take your money from the commercial bank that is all about greed and bullshit, and you put it somewhere where now you become part owner in this institution, that sends a signal. No?
Okay, but in the other part you said to quit paying your bills?
Correct.
I mean, this sounds like total revolution, I guess.
That's correct.
So you kind of literally mean just burn it all down then, start over.
Well, no. You don't need to, because really the outcome that you're looking for is to remind them that they still need us. And so when they do things that are harmful to us, we can turn around and do things that are harmful to them and their bottom line. Of course, I mean, it's not like they're going to go hungry.
In other words, the 300 million American citizens elect their government, and if, with that being said, that means that the American government that was elected by the people represents the American people. So every move the American government makes reflects either negatively or positively on the American people. So if you look at the world stage, if you look at the world stage, look at the reputation of America today. How many do you think you have made more friends than enemies, more allies than enemies in the last 30 to 50 years with every action and move the American government has taken, whether Democratic or Republican?
Well, of course not.
Yeah, and that makes us as Americans wonder and question why. I'm a good person. I'm an American citizen. And I'm a good person. Why is my reputation tainted all around the world as an oppressor and as somebody that goes and gets involved in wars?
It's an issue of entitlement. For some reason, like the culture of this country is that certain groups of people are entitled to everything from everybody, because if might makes right. If I have enough money, I can just take this thing from this person. Right? If I have enough big enough military, I could just take the shit from that other country, and that's not good. And that's really what they've been doing to us. They think we're stupid to the point where they've integrated laws into this system where you can't put $45 towards an investment or whatever to collectively buy something. The government's like, no, you're too stupid. You'll just get scammed. like what?
And the people who end up paying the highest price to host is the average Joe American, is the American soldier, for example, who thinks he's going there to do.
We're spreading democracy and freedom around the world. Oh, put that baby down, blam blam blam. Oh, I just killed a baby.
He comes back with PTSD. He can't even.
He's homeless. Ends up taking himself, his wife, and all of his children out with him because of what they. Yeah, these people are violent to us. So world peace, what do? You just sit there and let somebody beat you in the head?
That's the reason I truly wholeheartedly believe.
You elect them. You put them in power by election. You don't burn it all down.
Okay, well, okay. To that, the parties themselves, do you agree that they gatekeep the people that you get to pick from?
Well, of course, but maybe we can have a third party or fourth party that is viable, not just for a namesake, where it's a protest vote.
That, yes. For example, and I'm glad you brought that up. This, ranked choice voting should be a thing, because then it makes the non-viable viable. But because that will be harmful to the very people who are trying to gatekeep, they're going to fight it. And if I'm all about it. Look, if we could get that in there on a federal level and on state elections, I'm all about it. That might change the game by itself.
But there's another thing.
I agree.
But good luck,
Yeah, they're making the laws, so they're not going to change that.
Exactly.
That goes against their interest.
Exactly. And so for example, Republicans and Democrats, both, the base, agrees with this. I haven't had a Republican come up here not one time and say, I don't want that. I've never heard a Republican say it. I've never heard a Democrat say they didn't want that. And yet, it will be very, very difficult to get them to do it. Right? Even though it makes perfect sense, but they won't, because
with all of our problems, they keep coming and coming and coming. So in comparison to other countries, I'm guessing we're still doing pretty darn well.
And look, what we failed to mention also, what you said is absolutely true, but there's another thing that we need is accountability. Like when a government official promotes his campaign and says that I'm going to do this and this and that, and the American people believe him, trust him, and vote for him, and then realize that he did completely the opposite of what he promoted, that's not the fault of the American person that voted. No, that is the fault of the person who lied, and
they got scammed. Right, they got scammed, and you can get scammed politically and wind up with a bunch of new wars when you voted for no new wars. But by God, you can't put $45 towards cooperating an airline. How dare you, fuckers?
It's insane.
Crazy. But I don't know, like, what do you do to that, to where you punish politicians after the fact when you realize they were full of shit? Like Gavin Newsom, great example. He ran on like making healthcare free in the state. That was one of his platforms. The moment that dude got elected, he's like, we're going to take a more incremental approach. The little fucker. They all do it, Republicans and Democrats, sadly. There are a few good ones out there.
Let me give you an example. This is gonna sound a little bit like a cliche, but it's actually a fact. It's true. What is so during the history, back in history, when empires used to rule? Do you know what is the most threat? What's the most dangerous thing for the empire? When a slave or somebody that is powerless, that has no actual physical power, in fact, he has one thing, like the movie Gladiator, right? Gladiator was a slave, but what did he manage to do? He managed to get the love of the people, the audience. Yeah, the majority, the audience, the normal citizens loved that he was an underdog and he was fighting against the odds and he was winning and he was entertaining them.
How do we do that collectively? How do we get to that point where like that becomes the inspiration? Because currently, culturally, America is all about me, mine, mine from birth. Get what you want. You got to, you know what I mean? Become as wealthy as possible. Everything's about you. How do you get around that? World peace. If you have thoughts on that, I'd love to hear them. But Hassan, since you were talking, but by all means.
Yeah, look, I'll give you an example of my people, for example. Palestine, okay? Palestine was a country that was oppressed, that was occupied, 77 years of injustice, discrimination, unalivements, massacres, etc., okay? Yet, these people never lost hope. They passed the resistance ideology from one generation to another, and no matter how much violence they're facing when they resist, that never ever stopped them from keeping on. Like in short, Palestinian resistance started with the first intifada with rocks, then met with violence. It didn't stop them. Second intifada was with AK-47s. Didn't stop them when they met with violence. The third thing that happened was October 7th, which was rockets. Okay, so when you look at that correlation and ratio, a group of people as small as 50,000 were able to echo their ideology and their cause all around the world. When we have seen protests from Japan to Malaysia to Australia supporting that is a success for them. Why? Because they managed to expose and they managed to make the people all around the world aware of what is going on there. Now,
Hassan, is it a success? Is it a success for the people on the ground, though?
Yes. Here's how I would answer that.
Because they're martyrs?
Hold on. Not because they're martyrs. Just give me a second. Let me respond to him. We're talking about Gaza, but then he said...
No. I'm asking him if he was talking about the people in Gaza or something else.
Yeah, Gaza.
Yeah, he was mentioning that is it really a success when hundreds of thousands of Gazan Palestinians lost their lives? Like, is it really a success? Here's how it is a success. It is a success. If you look at a country like Algeria is in North Africa. It was occupied by the French for centuries, right? When Algeria gained its liberation and its sovereignty, the revolution had, as a result of the revolution, more than 300 to 500 Algerians were unalived, but they gained their liberation. Now, the nickname of Algeria is the land of the million martyrs. Okay, so sometimes the price is, yes, very high. The sacrifice is like devastating. It hurts, but that is the price to pay when somebody strips you out of your basic human rights.
When nothing else works, what can you do? What do you do?
Exactly.
World peace. Did you want to, offer thoughts? And guys, please keep tapping. The tapping has slowed a bit. I have the gifting goal up also. Go ahead and fill that. The goal is to get them done quickly. The quicker that the gifting goals get done, and that's why I'm keeping them low, is what I guess pushes it out to the FYP. But world peace, I'd love to hear your thoughts on what he just brought up, which is I think a poignant
Hassan,
point.
Going back to Hassan, the land, in Morocco, I guess, the land of the million martyrs. I thought you said like 300 were on the line, or was it a million?
It was Algeria.
And I apologize. Algeria.
So yeah, the nickname is the land of the million martyrs, but it was between 300 to 500 that were actually registered, But you know how when things like that happens, you have, because of the large bonds, you have bodies that get literally like what's the word, torn up so bad that they can't even identify them, and for that reason they don't put them in the registry of casualties. They can't even recognize them or identify them. They're just
going back to Algeria, because it sounds like, I'm not trying to belabor this point, but the rhetoric sounds good. A million people were martyred, but it was really like 300. Had it really been a million people, would it have been worth it?
You're saying it was 300?
It was like 1.5 million, was it not?
Yeah, please fact check us on that.
I'm familiar with it. Yeah, it's like 1.5 million. Yeah, people that died.
Okay.
It was, I don't know. It was several years, almost a decade, right?
Wait, yeah, more than a decade. It was like,
from the time that they really just started going at it. That, I guess, the start of the war, not just the oppression or whatever. Either way, and that speaks to its own problem. Why the fuck is France in there in the first place?
Exactly. And
why do they have any right to shit halfway across the world? This goes back to this cultural mentality of might makes right, and just because I can means I'm going to. I wish we would stop that, but here we are.
Algeria
the way the world, though, host. The reality is the way the world. Every country has either been colonized for the most part, or has been a colonizer. Look at Great Britain. Look at Spain.
Has America ever been colonized? Has America ever been colonized?
Yes.
No, but we colonized.
Yes.
We colonized. We were the colonizer.
Right.
That's my point.
The Europeans that are here, the Europeans here are colonizers.
Yes,
they're still
absolutely.
settlers to this day. But not every country has colonized. Is really Europe is a new brand of, I don't know, entitlement. Europeans, generally speaking.
But there's a really
cool,
I agree with that.
Look, there's a really cool. When you look at countries that have been colonized, that have suffered oppression, that have suffered apartheid, okay, you see a traumatic bond that makes them relate to each other and connect and click, right? What am I talking about here? Ireland, for example. Ireland was a country that was occupied and oppressed for more than 800 years, right? Now it is its own sovereign nation, right? When the incident happened in Gaza, what did the Irish do? The Irish went above and beyond. Why? Because they share that traumatic bond. They understand the suffering. They know the pain.
Right.
For that reason,
And
they were the first country in Europe to kick the delegation of Israel and just to shove it in the Israelis' face. Where the Israeli embassy once stood in Ireland, they're making a museum to showcase the Palestinian suffering.
That's funny. And see, here's like Ireland is one of only maybe 6 or 7 countries in Europe that hasn't colonized other countries. Ireland is one of them.
South Africa suffered apartheid. South Africa understands the pain of the Palestinians. For that reason, they went above and beyond. They didn't just go up on a podium and condemn. They went to the ICC with 7 other nations and they filed a lawsuit on war crimes and genocide. Okay?
Right.
This is
and
the
what
point.
good did it do, though? Well, there's no teeth in it, though.
It doesn't matter what good it does.
It does bring awareness. And it makes a point.
The point is, I'm so sorry I was to interrupt you, but the point that they're making is, when countries share traumatic bond like this, they don't inflict the same trauma and the same oppression on others. They usually stick together. The only nation that claims to have suffered the most in the world during
which they haven't, for the record.
That nation is the only nation that inflicted the same pain and suffering on others for 77 years.
I think that's a good point. It is kind of wild. Now, World Peace, did you want to respond in any way before I get to Deej?
No, go ahead.
Deej, welcome aboard. What's up?
Oh, I'm just listening to the conversation about colonizing, reading some of the comments. It's not biological. It has to do with power structures, and Israel is one of the worst. They do it through war.
Okay, colonizing isn't biological, or is that what you're saying? Or
someone posted.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't know what it is. It's always been like.
I have a question. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Deej, I have a question. You said Israel is one of the worst. How many countries is Israel colonized? I mean, when I look at Spain, I look at Portugal, I look at Great Britain, I see all these countries. I look at Saudi Arabia. All these countries that have colonized dozens and dozens of countries. How many has Israel colonized?
But these other countries have not done it through bombing the other country out of existence. Then call it their own.
Yeah, I mean, one could argue that they've colonized the United States. You got Lebanon, you got Palestine. Their political apparatus and their intelligence agencies, while not maybe what you might think colonization looks like, where you actually go over there and take it, they still have political colonization and fear colonization that they've been successful in a lot of counters.
Host, here is what's wrong with his claim. What's wrong with his claim?
No, it's a question.
Okay, good question. Here is what's wrong with your question, sir. The examples you mentioned about colonizers were pre-World War II. That's that fine line. Okay, the human race came to a consensus that post World War II, we do not want imperialism. We do not want colonization. And as a result of that consensus, they reached the Geneva Convention, the United Nations, and the international law, because they don't want those same atrocities that happened during the imperialistic period of the human race. The only nation that is by the United Nations considered as an occupying nation is Israel, supported by the United States of America, sir. So here's the thing. You have to look at it pre-World War, post-World War. The human race have decided we do not want colonization anymore. So you can't bring me an example pre-World War and compare it to 2026 today, sir.
Well, but is colonization the most devastating thing that's happened since World War II? What about Mao Zedong? Okay, you're talking 60 million people unalive. What does that count for? Did he colonize? No. But look at all the unalivements he caused. Look at Pol Pot. Look at all these leaders, okay? Look at Russia. the millions and millions. Since World War II, there's probably been at least 100 million people that have been unalive, but they haven't been colonized.
Think of it this way. Maybe I can kind of explain the difference. So if you've got a family, there's like 15 people in your family, right? That's what remains of your family. And 2 of them get unalived. That's terrible, right? But if somebody goes through and purposely says, every single last one of you are going to be gone, and then we're going to make sure that we erase all that had ever existed of you.
We're talking about different. Trump when he told the Ayatollah?
No. We're talking about the colonization aspect of it. So unaliving people is bad, but unaliving them and then also erasing their history is worse.
Yes.
Do you see what I'm saying? So like when these colonizers went around the world, and it's usually for some resource, like in Congo it was for rubber, and sugar in Brazil, various things like that. They go in there, they enslave a population or bring in slaves, such as they did here and in Brazil, and in Congo they just took over the people that were there and enslaved them. And then they devastate.
Were alive in the Congo? Well, wasn't it close to 20 million people that died in the Congo?
Millions. That's right. Yeah. And so a lot of those indigenous people are still just hanging by a thread in their existence, either being bred out or So like the numbers, could be very high, but the fact that they're trying to erase a culture and then tell you, well, you got to assimilate into our shit.
You must take into consideration that these nations, these continents, like the Middle East was occupied by empire after empire after empire, from the Roman to the Ottoman to the British and the French after. Okay, they never had their own sovereignty, they never ruled themselves, and they were never the shot callers of what happens in their region, right? And then you look at the colonizers, right, like the British and the French and America today. Till today, they are still able to manage to hog resources and to make excuses like weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. That's why we're invading, when they really were invading to gather the oil and the resources and the gold that Saddam has. And who paid the price for that? American soldiers and millions of Iraqis, innocent people. Okay, that is the problem. Here, it becomes a question of what the American people, the 300 million American people who they elect, does he serve the American people or does he serve himself? And what can the American people do to change that?
Well, he serves half of America. Half of America believe in him, and he definitely serves himself. But no matter what politician you have in there as president, he's only going to represent truly half the Americans.
Yeah, I don't even think he represents half the Americans, to be quite honest with you. Like, I think his numbers are down considerably, even among the most sycophantic people that I didn't think would ever change. But look, people are going to have to collectively come together and do something, because this is how they've done it. They came together as rich people and said, well, let's figure out a way to fuck everybody and take everything for ourselves. I mean, so we're going to have to do the same.
They're the 1%. Like, we are 99%. They are the 1%.
Right. They should be.
Believe in our power. If we believe. Sorry, host.
They should be afraid of us, and they aren't. They need to be afraid of us.
Afraid of them. For some reason, we are afraid of the 1% when we are the vast majority. But we don't believe that. We always say, this is the way it is. This is how our constitution is. We can't do nothing to change it. But in reality, that constitution you're talking about is 250 years old. And in that period of time, in those 250 years, look at how many times the constitution actually changed. When slavery was abolished, how did they do it? They were the oppressed people. They were the ones who were suffering. They managed to reach their objectives. Women's rights, to vote and work. Like, it is. Okay. It is definitely possible, but we need to believe in it.
Yeah, I mean, we have to. I mean, there's some psychology behind this. The difference, to me, because you asked how, the difference is what somebody is willing to do. These people that control things, they have no remorse. They have no regard for humans. They have no regard for anything. So they're willing to do diabolical shit to get what they want. Whereas the average person isn't like that. We don't exist and wonder if we torture this person for 3 hours, maybe we can get something out of. These people are willing to do that. They don't care. And therein lies the difference. Like one's ability to really fucking hurt somebody like really bad is, it doesn't exist in most of us. I think that's how they're doing it.
Look,
So
let me ask a question.
maybe we have to dehumanize them to the point where we are willing to do those terrible things. Brian Thompson finding himself, face to face with the sidewalk one day.
Here's a question, host. Listen, if we all know and we all agree that America is the dominant superpower with the mightiest military, right? Then with that being said, we know that if America decides to do something, whether it was moral, immoral, ethical, unethical, not a single soul will be able to stop them on Earth. No entity on Earth will be able to stop them because they're mighty, because they have 800 bases all around the world. Okay, and then when you take that into consideration, in my opinion, I think the only people who are able to stop them is the Americans, is the American citizens, the 300, because they know that their constitution gives them the freedom of speech, the freedom to bear arms, the freedom to express themselves. When the whole world do not have, as the Americans say, the freedoms. Americans consider America to be the greatest country in the world. So use your power. Palestine was occupied and they managed to resist the way they did. Why do 300 million Americans not have the power to?
Because we don't have the power.
Yet you do.
We don't have the power. No, we have to take. We have to take the power.
Hassan, we don't want 100,000 unalive. We don't want to live in tents. We don't want to have zero plumbing. We don't want to have food insecurity. That's why. We're pretty happy. We're pretty spoiled compared to the rest of the world. I think we want to keep that.
And therein lies the problem. Like you give them just enough to where they're comfortable enough that they just won't do anything.
Exactly, host. So in your logic, world peace, in your logic, you're saying just because you have enough to be happy and content, then that means that your reputation around the world does not mean anything to you. And the fact that your government, who's representing you, is committing atrocities that's making you look like a monster in the eyes of the whole world.
But Hassan, I'm a pragmatist, which means I believe what is. I can't change things alone. I can't change things with 1 million people. I don't believe that's possible. I don't think you could change things with 20 million people.
You don't think it's possible?
Let's say, hold on. Wait.
You don't, hold on. You don't think it's possible that the people take back control of their own destiny?
You're delusional if you think that's the liberal side. You have no power. Liberals have no power.
We're not talking about liberals. This isn't about liberals. This is about Americans, sir.
Right, but you're not representing me in this conversation. You have some guy here, Hassan, who's talking about. He's not even here in the States, probably.
I am in Houston, Texas.
Well, hold on, Hassan. Hold on, Hassan. Let him. We can respond to him after.
There are a ton of us out here who are very happy with how things are going.
I'm
and finally getting the world order together. Yeah, we're mixing it up everywhere.
That's right.
So you are happy that we are going around the world bombing schools and unaliving people left and right and stealing presidents and becoming pirates, where we're stealing other people's rate. No, these are things that have. No, Hassan. No, I'm talking. These are things that have happened. They're not talking points. I'm asking. You're okay with all of those things?
War is filthy. It is what it is.
It's not war.
Conflict.
It's not war.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, if a group of like 20 bikers come and take somebody's house, and there's a family of like 3 people in there, and they got one shotgun between them, you're telling me that that's just war? They get to go in there and take it because they can? Is that okay? Would you be okay with that?
You're comparing apples and oranges.
It's
that
not.
Has nothing
No,
to do
no.
with the
It's
topic.
not. It's a different scale. It's a different scale.
It's apples and oranges.
So how is one right and the other is wrong?
One sanctified by the government.
Because we are in the process of changing the whole world order. That's what we're in the process of
and
doing.
And who gave you that authority?
That's what we do to protect our country.
No, actually it's going to have the opposite effect as we're seeing with Israel.
That's opinion-based.
Israel took a bite, too big of a bite, and now the world has turned, because this is what Germany thought too, by the way. Germany thought that they could do it also, and look how that worked out for them. When the entire world turns against you because you are doing these things and you think I'm superior and I have the right to do this,
we are superior.
People don't like. We are not superior.
We are superior.
You are certainly not superior, sir.
Absolutely.
I can tell you right now that you are not superior to a single fucking person out there, because what you don't have is a moral code, and without a moral code, you're just a psycho running around doing psycho shit.
Well,
and what we do with psychos, you know what we do with psychos, don't you?
You get your moral code by sitting here talking about, in the safety of your little studio or whatever you've gotten. I mean, nobody likes to look at the dirty work that has to be done out there
and
that allows you to do that.
And yet you're here.
Host, please allow me.
No, Hassan, I'm talking to this man.
I am. I am here because I'm interested in the anti-American feeds.
Anti-American feed?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
what about this feed
anti-American
is anti-American, where I,
Yes,
as an American,
absolutely.
want the people of America to have the power, not just the wealthy people. I want everybody to have
I can
collective
assure you.
control over our country, which, in fact, I don't know if you've ever read this thing. Have you ever seen this before? Does this look familiar to you at all?
I got one of
Does
my
that
hand.
does that ever look familiar?
Yeah, I don't
so
have one
let's
in my hand. I
read.
apologize.
Why don't we
I'm
read from the damn
qualified.
thing? Where in the Declaration of Independence, after the Europeans came over here and genocided the people that existed here before,
Oh, there
they
we
declared
go. You mean we
themselves.
settled?
They declared
You mean we
themselves that
There you
genocided.
go.
Genocided.
You're an apologist.
We the people is the
You're an
first 3.
apologist.
Listen, bro. We the people are the first 3 fucking letters of the
You're an
Constitution.
apologist.
We the people, and you are opposed
You are
to
not
and
the people.
claim that
You
it
are
is
the people that we want
anti-American
done that.
for me, an American, an indigenous American at that, to
No,
want
you are the
collectively
people that we will
the
deal with
people to
next.
have more power than a small group of people that have a bunch of wealth and declared themselves superior.
It's not a
You
small
think
group
that
of
is
people. That's where you're
anti-American, sir?
mistaken.
You think
That's
that's
where you're
anti-American?
mistaken. It's not-
So that
Yes, you're
we the
very
people
anti-American.
get to decide?
Yes.
Yeah,
Look,
I don't
not
think
you,
so.
not
You
you.
are a
You are not
colonizer.
we the people.
You are a white supremacist. I can already
There
tell.
you go.
That's
There
what you
go.
are.
Talking points. Talking
It's not a
points.
talking
When
point,
you
it's
don't
a
have
fact,
any
bro.
facts to stand on.
It's
you
a
go
fact.
right to the talking points.
One
A
white supremacist looks just like
A
the
white
other white supremacist. Yes. Are you
You're
white?
sad, bro.
Are you a supremacist?
Very sad.
You said on my fucking panel that you are superior to everybody else. That's what you said.
Yeah, the United States is. I didn't say I
And
was.
it's not a talking
The
point to
United
point out
States.
your own
The United
words,
States
dude.
is.
I pointed out your own
Can't
words.
twist it, bro. Can't
It's
twist
not
it.
twisting. If you believe
You're
yourself superior,
twisting it.
if you believe
Absolutely.
that you are superior
The United
to
States
other
of
people,
America is
that's
superior on
called
every level.
supremacy. That's called supremacy.
every
That
level. You're
came
right.
out of your own mouth. And when I point out
Yes.
that you are a white supremacist, you're like, that's a
The United
talking
States
point,
of
bro.
America is
Even
not a
though I
white
literally said it out of my own face, that's a talking point. You don't even know what you say, bro.
Oh my God!
You don't even know what you
that
say.
might work for Hassan. Twisting your points might work for Hassan.
Wait. You
but keep
get
it
says
clear.
I'm twisting
I'm
his
speaking on
words
for
when he
America.
literally said he was superior to everybody else. You said that.
Right, the United
I
States
didn't
of
say
America is superior. Tell me
You-
one country that's more superior than the United States
that. And
of
that's
America.
called supremacy, bro. And
right,
you
the
are
United States of
white.
America is supreme over
And if
any
you
other
believe
country.
what
You're
you
right.
say, that
It
makes
has nothing to
you,
do with
drum roll
racism.
please,
It has to
hold
do with
on, what does that make
technology,
you? Because
the
words matter.
economy,
Drum
protecting
roll,
the rest of the
a white
world,
supremacist.
financing NATO, the UN. You're right. Yeah, we are supreme.
Okay,
And he's
can I
saying it
respond?
again after claiming it's a talking point.
Right. America is a
These
supreme
people are not
country.
serious.
I'm
You are not a
sorry that you
serious
don't
person.
see that.
I'm sorry about your
you
dick,
don't see
bro.
that,
Hassan,
and you
go
hate
ahead.
America. I'm sorry you
Sorry
hate
about your
America.
dick, buddy. Go ahead,
I'm sorry.
Hassan.
There you go. See, there we go. We go into the white supremacist, Hitler, your dick. Oh, you must be white.
I actually
It's
listen.
your same old
Listen,
talking
I have a
points, bro.
theory. I have a
It's
theory.
old and tired.
I have
It's
a theory
old and
because
tired.
if you look up studies, it shows that people
Old and
from
tired, bro.
African nations have bigger
Old and
dicks.
tired.
This is true. You can go look it up. No. And I have a feeling
Old and
that
tired, bro.
Europeans were actually
Old and tired.
butthurt, especially the men,
Old
were
and tired,
upset
bro.
because
It's
this other
old
group
and
of people
tired.
had bigger dicks.
Old
And
and
so they were
tired.
so pissed that they were just
I
going to
can't
go
help it,
around
you have a dick
and mistreat
fetish.
and
Most
cut
liberal
off
men
the
like
penises
closeted men
of black
do.
men, which is
Most
what white
closeted men
supremacists
don't
did
have a fetish.
in the United
So you
States.
talk
I
about
think that may be
racism,
why they colonized
white
everybody.
supremacy,
If I'm
dick
going to have a
size,
little
and then
dick,
you just talk over
everybody's going to
everybody.
have
That's
a little
what you
dick.
guys do.
Sorry about
That's
your
why
dick,
we're
bro.
superior over
Hassan,
you,
go
and
ahead.
we will shut you down.
He's
You're a
got-
joke.
This dude climbs into
You're
the
a
passenger,
joke.
the driver's seat of his truck. Go ahead,
You're a
Hassan.
joke. Oh, and the big trucks, right? There you go. That's right. There you go. And the
Hassan,
big
go
trucks.
ahead.
It's very, very. I mean, you guys are. We could read you like a book. It's a joke because it's the same old story. You are nothing more than the same old story.
Hassan, go ahead. The white supremacist doesn't want anybody to talk, but go ahead. I say it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you can read us like a book, then why are you up here arguing with us? I don't understand. That's number one. Number two, if I were to take your logic, superiority, Americans are the superior power. Americans dictate how the world is gonna
Who's
run.
more superior?
And everybody must demand.
Who's more superior?
No, hold on.
Please
hold
tell
on.
me. No. Let's just talk facts. Let's break it down. Who's more
Nobody.
superior?
I agree with you.
Okay, well
Nobody
then
is
you
more
go. So
superior.
what's the point?
Here's
Nobody's
the
more
point.
superior than the United States of America as a country.
Bro, relax. Let me prove my point. Let me make my point.
Well,
and
let's
then
just
you
keep
can-
clarification on your multiple points.
It's not multiple points. We're talking about superiority. Everybody knows America is the superpower.
There you
of
go.
the
So
world.
it's fact, right? I mean, we know it's fact.
It's okay. It's fact. Now
Perfect.
let me get
That's
to
all
my
we need to
point.
hear.
Okay, slavery and abolishing slavery. Did those people who are in America, who are slaves, considered American citizens, when they managed to abolish slavery and to disobey and to change the laws and the Constitution?
And you know,
were
500,000 white European Americans died freeing the slaves, right? Right, Hassan? You know that part, right? You just
That's
gloss
not
over
the
that part of
point,
it.
bro. That's
Well,
not
what's
the
your
point.
point? You mean it's not your talking point?
No.
You mean it's not your
my
talking point? Okay.
that you're
Gotcha.
Bro,
It's not your
bro.
talking point.
See, if you give me a chance, I will clarify my point, man. It was not about race. I know there were white people that helped the black people gain their slavery. The thing is, who made slavery? It was the American Constitution and the American government who made it.
Absolutely. Slavery's been around for thousands of years, Hassan.
And it wasn't just
sure.
America,
The
it's
Muslims
been in
started
almost every culture.
the slave trade
wasn't.
thousands of years ago.
We didn't create
That is irrelevant.
We didn't
The point
create
I'm trying to
slavery,
make-
but we did
the
not
point
create
that I'm
created
trying to
slavery,
make,
bro.
oh my! If you let me fucking land my plane, I have 30 seconds and I'll land my plane. The
Well, if
point
you're
I'm trying to make.
Palestinian landing your plane, I'm nervous.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful,
That is
beautiful,
kind of funny.
amazing.
Anyway,
Okay, yeah.
Hassan, go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Okay, the point is the fact that America was the superpower, was the invincible might, and yet a group of white and black people who felt that slavery was wrong managed to do something about the status quo and change the constitution and the law. So you cannot tell me that because America is superior today that it will be superior forever and not an underdog will be able to change the status quo, because history have shown us that the Roman Empire, the Genghis Khan Empire, the Ottoman Empire all fell in decay from within because
they started falling into liberalism and homosexuality and corruption and everything else. You're right, Hassan. You're right.
Divert from the conversation. Yeah, okay.
Hey, what is your Grinder profile name? You
Grindr?
get that was to you. You get what is your
you have like an app?
Was that supposed to be like a hit on me or something?
Well, I was just curious. You got a lot of pent up rage
You
there. I feel like
you seem like you're very curious. I mean, you brought up racism, dick size. I mean, come on, man, give it a break, bro. That's not even realistic.
I can't quit you, Ennis Delmar.
Host, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
No, yeah, this is for you, Hassan, but primarily for the host. Do you want to boycott? Because I keep hearing you bring up Israel. Do you want to boycott things that would support Israel?
Yes.
Including TikTok, where two Jews own the American stake? You're talking about Larry Ellison?
Percentage of
Larry
it, yes.
Ellison and
They
Michael Dell.
they also basically control Facebook as well. They also,
But why not
point,
start
probably
your
have a handle on. Well, actually, we are building that. I'm glad you brought that up.
But I mean,
we're working on an app that does exactly what you just said. So give us a minute. Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, and by the way, things backfire. Like, even though Israel owns those platforms, yet till today, from October 7th till today, it was not a trend. People didn't just come up here and talk about Palestine. Americans, Europeans, Indonesians, just for 1 day or 2 days and then pass to the next big thing. No, this has been occurring every single day, where people are coming up here and the movement and the wave is getting bigger and bigger. No matter what you try to do, everybody is riding.
Hassan, you're delusional. The UAE just left OPEC, bro. You're delusional, bro.
UAE, bro.
You're delusional, Hassan. How? Oh my gosh, man. How?
He's talking about.
What about the Abraham Accords? What about the Abraham Accords?
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, Middle East countries. You're delusional, bro. What country are you
let
in?
Me explain.
Hassan, what country are you in?
How do you figure he's delusional?
I can tell you.
Hassan, what country are you in?
Let me answer.
Explain.
Okay, before he explains it, let me answer his questions. Okay, you said that countries like the UAE, and you mentioned the Abraham Accords. Okay, now every single person in the Middle East knows and understands for a fact that every single leader and every single government in those countries are bought by the US and Israel. Okay, that's number one.
Oh, Israel, right? Oh, okay. So Israel owns all the Arab state. Okay, cool. I didn't know that, but that's why I'm on here. I learn new shit every day, bro.
What is the Abraham Accords?
The Abraham Accords is where they're all getting along over there. They're going to financially as well as militarily talk.
Actually, the United States basically the United States basically put a stake around all of the neighboring countries so that they'd play with Israel.
Okay,
that's what happened. We pay them for their friends. It's not an opinion. It's a fucking fact, bro. We pay for those neighbors to play with Israel because they're hated so much that nobody wants to.
We love Israel.
Here's what's coming.
We love
Here's what's coming. Here's what's coming.
I love Israel.
Is that the majority of people in America do not support Israel anymore.
You don't speak for the majority of the people in America.
I don't speak for them, but the polls sure do.
So you're spewing
the polls do.
That's not true.
And are you a Zionist? Are you in favor of Israel in the way that it exists currently? Okay.
I am.
You know
absolutely.
What? And again, there's that white supremacy, guys. There's Zio supremacy, and they're generally white people. A bunch of people from Europe latched themselves onto a religion. They fucking latched themselves onto this religion so that they could go around and do what they're currently doing. Yes, that's right.
So do you support Hamas?
I support anybody. I support anybody that pushes against. I support anybody who pushes against their oppressors.
So you're a terrorist, right?
I support any individual that tells its oppressor to go fuck itself and then unalives those oppressors.
Identify people like you.
I support that.
Who are terrorists in our own country.
You're already doing that. What are you talking about? Anybody who is a white supremacist and believes, I know that anybody that believes themselves to be superior to another person is in fact inferior, and we have no right. Those
Our
people have
country
no
is
right to
superior.
exist in
You're
a
right.
world full of a
Didn't say
diverse
nobody
group
had,
of people.
no right.
I'm
I said
saying
it's
that you
superior.
don't. I'm saying that you don't because you're not
I think
superior.
everybody has a
In
right
fact,
to exist under
I
God.
think you are a pathetic individual.
Well, because
and
that's all
I
you
think
have.
that
You can't have come with facts.
see you can't
So you
get
just
people
attack.
to
So
you
far
can't
you've
get
attacked my
people to
dick,
subscribe.
my truck.
You can't get people to
maybe I'm not
subscribe
even
to
white.
your
You
life
said I was
view.
white.
You
I
can't.
mean, are you right on
okay,
anything?
here we go. Because I can't even. This is what they do. You can't get anybody to subscribe to your worldview. So what you do is you force them into it because your worldview is so bad and so poor and so antithetical to even the United States that you have to force it upon other people. That's why I always laughed when they're like, we're spreading democracy at the end of a fucking bomb. If you don't accept democracy, we're going to bomb you. That is not okay. And the American people don't want that anymore. So you're literally an unaliving breed. And one of these days, you're going to find out because you've been fucking around for so long. It's coming. That day is coming. And I will rejoice. Matter of fact, I may even pray to God when it happens, sir. I'll be fucking ready for it because the people are done and y'all are cooked. You bit off more than you could chew. You guys, we make like Truman's Show. You guys are fucking fake and phony. You lie all the time. You fucking lie in order to exact your revenge on people. You took cultures and just completely unalived them and declared that your own culture was superior to that of somebody else's. It's really gross. And we're done. And you're done.
To prove your point, host, just to give an example to prove your point. 77 years they've been doing their atrocities and sweeping it under the carpet, right? And everybody in the world love Israel before October 7th. Everybody in the world support Israel before October 7th. It took 2 years when the Palestinians exposed the atrocities of the Israelis. 2 years it took to take down the 70 years of them boasting about the most democratic country in the region, the most moral army in the world. All those bullshit lies came crumbling down in just 2 years. 60%
they're
of
sick.
Americans.
Those people are sick. I don't know what it is about that like worldview, but it's demented. It's twisted. It's the most dangerous, vile people that I've ever seen in my life, ever.
Look at the tactics they use, host. Let's say, for example, the pager attacks on the Lebanese people.
Right.
Look how long they slept on that.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It's disgusting.
You know, they don't know where the pagers are. They have implanted those pagers, thousands of them, all over.
They unalived
Lebanon.
innocent people, and they don't care.
Collateral damage.
Collateral damage.
And they say that. And look, to the people that are regulars on my show, I want you to look in the comments. Do you see how many of these Zios have shown up? Do you see that? And this is what they do. I think actually they're probably paid to do this. You get is probably
liberal.
paid
Can you
to
name
do this.
some of the
I get
individuals that were
but they come in and they take over spaces. This is what they do. They're colonizing everything. And then they try to make it out like you're a bad person because you won't let them grape children. For example, when they sent Epstein to this country and Ghislaine's dad to this country to traffic and grape children, this is what they do. They have no moral bounds. They believe that we are not humans, that they are somehow above us and superior to us, and they're allowed to do anything that they want to us. That's why in their own religious text, for example, guys, it says that they are allowed to own slaves, just not each other. They can own slaves for everybody else, just not themselves. They can use indentured servants of themselves, but they can't use actual slaves. That's for everybody else. This group of people really believe these things, and it's fucking wild. And I'm sorry, but when you guys started really coming out, telling the world exactly what you were, everybody saw it and was horrified.
I have a question. Do you think there are more Muslims owning slaves today than there are Israelis owning slaves?
I don't know.
By probably
Let me answer.
Maybe 5,000 to 1?
I don't know.
Let me answer. The thing is, it's not about owning slaves and not owning slaves. Here's the thing: when we talk about religion,
well, let me point this out before you get too far, because you're like, who's owning them more? Christopher Columbus was one of y'all.
I hope he was.
He was. Okay. He was a converso. When they got fucking kicked out, this dude pretended to be somebody else, which is what you guys do. And he went around the world and he snatched up as many fucking people as he could and he sold them. And he unalived people. He would bash babies against trees in order to instill fear into the indigenous people so that they would go and basically be enslaved and mine gold and get whatever they can for them for when they return.
Now,
didn't work out too well for them in terms of the airwax. But
let me just touch up on
there were 3 ships that came over. I think
one second.
About 100 people, 100 men that Christopher Columbus brought over. It's actually lower than that. And these 100 men evidently controlled 20 million people that were indigenous here. Boy, they must have had a hell of an army.
Have you ever read his writings?
How did he pull that off?
Have you ever read the writings?
100 people control 20 million?
Okay, so World Peace has never actually read the journal from Christopher Columbus, because if he had, he would understand how he was able to do that. They even talk about how gracious the people were that got there. And this really is the kicker, because when you have a group of people that is willing to do anything, torture you, unalive your babies, eat you, cut your hands off, cut your arms off, your legs.
Are you talking about Hamas?
Decapitate you.
Are we talking about
when
Hamas?
you have a group of people that are willing to do, when you have a group of people that are willing to do all of those things, coming up against a group of people who cannot imagine even half of these things, of course the one that's willing to do anything is going to be able to take that over, because the other people, they don't even understand it. This is a problem that Americans currently have. The people generally around the world
Hamas.
Is that the people, your average person, is not able to or willing to engage in that type of behavior, and that's why we can't get our shit back. So we have to dehumanize these fuckers. We cannot look at them as humans anymore, because really they're not. They're not humans. These are not actual humans. They exist something beyond that. I don't know what it is. Once people start wrapping their heads around that, and then y'all find yourselves in the same situations that you put everybody else in, then maybe shit will start to get different. I don't know what else to do.
Let me just say one thing.
Because we're superior. I mean, just listen to that.
That's right. America is superior. We'll never be in that position.
And see, it's crazy that that's an acceptable statement by anybody.
It's 100% fact. It's not. It's truth.
Was the Roman Empire once superior?
Yes.
Depends on how you look at it. They never crossed the Rhine.
Genghis Khan's empire.
And I wonder,
empire, was it superior?
I wonder though. I wonder though if they're being paid to come up on panels to do this in order for everybody to turn against and not look at these people as humans, because then they can play victim again. Oh, look what they did to us. Look, they hate us. Look, we're the most hated people on earth, and we don't know why. We sell kosher dildos at Rabbi Shmuley's shop.
Here we go, another sexual innuendo.
It's Rabbi Shmuley's sex shop that he owns with his daughter, bro. That is a real thing. That is a fact.
Innuendo, man.
Or we can
ask
talk about
Rabbi Shmuley what kind of enjoyment he got when he rode the back of Cory Booker and fucking buck broke the dude. I wonder why. And
let's not forget
these are gross people. Talk to Rabbi
What about
Shmuley.
Robert Maxwell? Host Robert Maxwell. What do you know about Robert Maxwell? He is the 007.
He went swimming one time and he never came back. That's what we know. Yeah. He went out on a boat and he never came back.
How long was the Ottoman Empire around?
700 years.
Okay, I'll be happy. If America stays for 700 years, I'm happy. But we're not going anywhere for a long time.
Me either.
You will, because people like me, and I'll say this publicly to anybody that fucking asks me, I will support the president that comes out and says that they will invade and destroy Israel as it currently exists and takes all of that land. 1%. Bitch, if the United States wanted to do that, we could. And if you keep fucking around, you're going to find the fuck out. And I will support right along millions of other Americans that Israel in its current iteration cannot stand anymore. And what's funny is that I'm saying this on a platform that was bought by the same group of people in order to keep us from saying that. So I'm going to use the very things that you guys always use to spread that fucking message. I've never been a warmonger in my life. I have never supported war any time in my life, but I will support going in, putting boots on the ground. I'll sign up myself to go over there and make sure that you motherfuckers can't ever do this again.
You would never serve. You're a coward. You would never serve.
Hey, whoa. Back up.
He's a terrorist. He supports Hamas. He hates America. He's a coward. He's never served.
We love America. That's
guys
why
like this never serve.
Dude,
Liberals don't.
It's just propaganda. Like he just comes up here and lies through his mouth and just lie.
You guys badmouth us, but we're the ones that protect you. So you can sit on
Wait. Who's bad-mouthing who?
Well, you're a Hamas supporter. You're a terrorist.
Is bad-mouthing who? You said these guys are bad-mouthing us.
You're a terrorist.
Who said that?
You support terrorists.
You are a terrorist. You are
an American.
You don't support America. You made that very clear.
We take everything down that stands in front of America, unlike you.
Here's what I support. Here's what I support. Let me pull it back up again because again, this is what they do. They lie. They'll gaslight. They should be called Zio-lighters instead of. It shouldn't be gaslighters. It should be Zio-lighters.
Are you denying what you said? You support Hamas.
I want you to. I didn't say that. That's not what I said.
You absolutely said that.
I did not say that.
You said you supported.
I did not say that. Do you see the first three words of the Constitution says "We the people"? That's who I support.
That's right. That's who I support. Like me. That's not you. No. You're delusional.
No. Now you're welcome to have your own thoughts. That's fine.
Same to you. That's why we're on here, right?
That doesn't mean that the majority of people believe the same way that you do.
Exactly. I was thinking the exact same thing.
And they don't.
Yeah, but you just called him the T word because he disagreed with you.
That's right.
So we're not allowed to shush, my turn. We're not allowed to disagree.
Oh God, we got a shusher on here?
Yeah, shush. I am a shush.
That is kind of funny. We got a shusher. Go ahead, Ferry. Guys, let Ferry, she hasn't talked yet, and then we'll get to Pyre after that. Go ahead, Ferry, and welcome aboard.
Well, it's just like they made the equivalent of Christopher Columbus controlling blah, blah, blah million people. Look what Trump's doing. He's controlling 7.5 million people right now. He's got them under his freaking arm. So, yeah, it's possible for one person to do
7? There's 300 million people in this country.
Okay. Well, Ferry, was that
Ferry.
What you wanted to say? Did you have anything else before I get to Pyre?
No, go ahead. That's what I had to say. I'm so sick of them calling you the T word, though. They need to
it doesn't bother me because and let me just point this out. I am indigenous to this country, and Europeans that came over here and unalived my entire civilization, they called me that also.
That's called
so
conquering.
my entire family has been called this. White people have been hating anybody that doesn't look like them for a long time, and they've been doing.
Bro.
So this doesn't bother me. Them calling me a terrorist because, as the saying goes, one man's terrorist. One man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter.
There you go.
I fight for people. I fight for people. I fight for people. I don't fight for institutions. I don't fight for people that have a bunch of fucking money. I won't do that.
Liberal, you're white.
See, that's
white
what makes you.
That's
what makes you believe yourself superior because you are using these wealthy individuals to do what you want. You don't want the people
I'm
to.
sorry, but
you don't want the people to.
You're white, bro.
Hassan, I'm I'm getting to Pyre. Pyre is next. Pyre, go ahead.
Oh. Yeah, hey, so I just want to point out that Huge, I don't know what his full name is, but Huge does this thing that he's got an arguing style that lacks any nuance. It is very black or white. And that's frustrating to deal with because the world isn't black and white. There are a lot of nuances. So you're saying that the host supports Hamas.
I'm a terrorist.
He said he did. Wait,
okay, real quick, Pyre. He keeps saying that I did. That is not what I said. And let me make clear what I said. You asked me if I support Hamas, right? You asked me that. What I said, I support anybody that fights against their oppressor. And the fact that you translated that into me supporting Hamas tells me that you know that Palestinians are being suppressed and that Hamas is fighting against them. You said that, not me. Go ahead,
Pyre. You admitted you support Hamas. You just said it again.
I'm still talking.
I didn't say that. Okay, so if you believe that Hamas is fighting against an oppressor, that's the only way that makes what I stated.
No, I believe they're a terrorist organization.
Right. That's the only way. Hold on. I don't think he's smart enough to understand what just happened there. He just backed himself into a hole, and you just made my point for me, sir. I'm glad that you agree. Listen, I'm glad that you agree that Israel is an oppressor of the Palestinian people. Thank you. You just agreed to that, and you're too stupid to realize it. Pyre, go ahead.
And going back to nuance, so I am willing to bet, and I could be wrong, but I'm willing to bet $1 bill.
Yes, it
that
is.
That Huge
equivalates God we trust.
hold on. That Huge equivalates Palestinians with Hamas. He sees no difference, and there is a humongous difference between
Please tell me what the difference
Palestinians and Hamas.
Huge. What's the difference?
You can disagree with the power structure and not be a T group.
What is the difference?
And before anybody says anything else, I got one thing to say to the host. This is directed at the host. We were talking about May Day a couple days ago, right? I was concerned about how my business was going to do that day. Do you remember that conversation?
Yes.
And I said I would come back and report?
Yes.
Dude, I had one of the busiest days of all time. It was fucking awesome.
That's fucking awesome. Way to go, Pyre.
They showed up.
It's awesome. But
they showed up in force,
also means
and I
weren't engaging.
Yeah, I almost cried when I saw the numbers at the end of the day. I almost cried. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to it. I'm gonna go back to a different live. I just wanted to come in and report because I said I would. Huge,
I appreciate it, man.
You got Huge. You're terrible, and I'm gonna drop. See y'all later.
Wait, I want to be terrible too. Don't forget.
Now, real quick, guys.
Darn.
Itty Bitty hasn't talked yet. Itty Bitty would like to, so go ahead, Itty Bitty.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Itty Bitty Committee, we hear you loud and clear.
It's a rescue cat named Stop Talking About My Pussy, You're a Creep. Okay, so the guy in the comments that said I'm a 12-year-old, whatever, he's a weirdo. Okay, so you believe that patriots have the right to fight for and protect their land, right?
I didn't say that. I never said that.
Do you believe in Americans having the right to bear arms to protect themselves? Yes
Absolutely.
or no?
Absolutely.
So do you not believe in Palestinians also having the same right to protect themselves? Or
If they
does
want,
that
What do you mean protect
resist all they
themselves?
want. How's it working?
What are you talking about?
Wow.
You're talking about apples and oranges.
I'm
Sorry,
not.
Eddie.
If you would stop talking, sir, when other people are talking.
They won't.
Barry, did you come in with Itty Bit? I mean, do you guys come from the same other feed?
Why are you?
You know what? Why does that matter? Why does that matter?
It doesn't.
Why
Anyway,
is that important?
Anyway.
You're a jackass, dude. Sorry.
Make your point, Itty.
I was just curious if you believe the right to protect yourself only belongs to Americans or white people or Israelis. Why are you only?
I keep telling you I'm not white. I don't know why everybody keeps saying I'm white.
I named a few different groups, bro. I didn't call you white. That's not what I said. If you would ever just listen,
oh my
not
God.
to just respond, but to understand, you might not sound so fucking stupid all the time. So do you believe in everyone in this world having the right to defend themselves?
As long as they can legally carry, yeah.
So the laws aren't the same. What? You're an idiot. Oh my god.
Okay. So you don't have any
wow.
rebuttal. So
Okay, hold on real quick, guys. Ferry, I've got to drop you. There was a violation. Let me see. Oh, it looks like Ferry already left. Harassment and bullying. Ferry got harassed. Like what? TikTok is fucking weird. Anyway, anyway, continue.
We got everybody's number.
I missed the point completely. I didn't know what she said.
Okay, so huge, or well, I guess it's you get what you get. Did you want to respond to that?
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree that in America, we have the right to keep and bear arms as long as you can legally carry. Everybody has the right.
Okay.
So
in America.
That's not in America. So the basic fundamental
That's in the United
right
States of America. Yeah, that's the Second Amendment.
I'm not talking about in America. I'm asking you, do you believe that other people have the right to defend themselves, or does only Israel have the right to quote?
I don't know what the laws are in that country. I can't give you an answer.
Somebody's killing you.
Let me answer him.
You need a law to be like.
Okay, Hassan may know. Go ahead, Hassan.
Hassan's probably over there.
Yes. Okay. I don't know why you would assume where I'm at, or who I am, or what nationality I am.
We got it, Hassan. Go ahead. Answer her.
Okay. The answer to your question, if you look at the United Nations and the international law, the United Nations, the vast majority of the countries that are in the United Nations acknowledge the fact that Palestinians have the right to resist because they are an occupied territory.
Yeah,
okay?
They're occupying Israel, right? You're right.
Yeah, so that, by consensus of the general...
You didn't catch that, right?
I know that. That was very good.
Shut up. It wasn't good. You guys are immature as fuck. Shut up and let him finish his point. Are you guys not mature enough to let someone speak for a minute without saying something dumb and then circle jerking each other like, oh, high five. You guys are so stupid.
Host, are you with us? Host, can you do me a favor and do
What's
a
up?
quick search?
For what's that?
Search, can you please do a quick search and see in the United Nations how many countries acknowledge and accept that Palestinians as an occupied territory have the right to resist?
Hussein, while he's looking that up, I hope they keep resisting because it enhances ethnic cleansing. Resist all day long.
They want all day long.
Keep resisting, please.
Yep.
And also host, also you can also search
156 of 193 UN member states recognize Palestine as a sovereign state, with many in the global south supporting its right to self-determination. While there's no single updated UN vote specifically defining the scope of a right to resist, a vast majority of nations, often exceeding 140, consistently vote in favor of Palestinian sovereignty, and all sovereign nations have a right to resist.
Thank you, sir.
And they do, but they're using Hamas. It's not the people. Hamas is taking over.
Call them whatever you want to call them. If people are resisting,
it is what it is.
A perceived,
right.
Whether you believe it or not, a perceived oppressor, that is something to be celebrated. Is it not supposed?
A terrorist group.
You get
one more point.
Yeah, you get. Do you think that whether you agree with it or not, right? You disagree that Israel is oppressing, I assume. Would you say that's right?
I don't agree. I don't agree that they're oppressing. I mean, they were attacked on January 6th.
Okay, well, I mean this, but this goes long before that, right? Nothing started on October 7th. No, not thousands of years since the creation of Israel in 40 fucking 8.
Let me ask you a question.
And the terrorism that existed, 20 some years prior to that. Before that, Muslims, Christians, and and everybody else lived there in relative peace. It wasn't until somebody else came in and determined that God gave them the right to this land. 3,000 years ago, God said that we could have this land. Nobody believes that. It's a lie.
Oh, yes, we do. It's in the Bible.
Nobody believes it.
Host, listen to me. At the end of the day, no other Arab countries even want the Palestinians.
Hassan wants to debunk your point. So go ahead, Hassan.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Hassan.
Listen to me. You're talking about the country that claims to be the most democratic in the region of the Middle East, with the most moral army in the Middle East. Okay,
Who's that?
country,
Israel?
Okay, yes, Israel.
I don't think that they claim to be the most more realistic.
Hold on. Let me finish my point, sir. Please don't interrupt me. Okay.
They're surrounded by terrorists.
10 more gifts to finish that gifting goal. And guys, please keep tapping. Let's get to 100K quickly. Hassan, go ahead. Please let somebody finish, please. Go ahead, Hassan.
How do I gift? Look, in the last 2 years, after October 7th, as a reaction from the Israelis, claiming that they have the right to defend themselves, let's count how many sovereign nations have been attacked and boomed, how many leaders from different governments have been assassinated. Let's count. We are talking about Qatar, a sovereign nation that is an ally to America, who has never ever been in conflict with nobody in the world.
But who attacked Qatar?
Listen, let me finish.
That was Iran.
Let me finish,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, host. I'm getting passionate, but sorry. Allow me to finish my point. Give me 1 minute, and I will mute.
We're counting.
A country like Qatar hosted negotiations for peace to kind of put an end to the conflict, because America and Israel asked them to. Okay, and what do they get in return for that? They get attacked by boom booms from F-35s that rained on them without any warning, without anything, and targeting the peace negotiation teams like this. Okay, let's put that on the side. Let's talk about Lebanon, Syria, Yemen.
30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I think that proves the point that I'm trying to make. I mean, yeah, I'm done.
I just want to know if he thinks those babies in the tents that were sleeping and starving as they were unalived were also resisting. Did they also deserve that? Those hundreds of thousands of people that weren't resisting, that were just trying to survive. You know, are you pro-life? You quote the Bible. I bet you're pro-life. Apparently, you're just forced first. Creep. I swear to God.
Okay, well, was that to you get, I assume? Although world peace,
Yeah.
I believe, is...
Both of them. They're Bible freaks, yet they do not...
We're Bible freaks. Okay.
You are, but you're actual freaks because you don't actually follow Jesus' teaching, because you're cheering for genocide.
I'm not cheering for genocide.
You said you hope.
I'm cheering for people who have the right to defend themselves. Isn't that what you said? Doesn't Israel have the right to defend itself?
You said you support ethnic cleansing. Do not gaslight me.
I support ethnic cleansing.
I said that.
I never said that.
No, you're right. It was world peace.
Okay.
You two are two people.
I stand by that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we can... Well, let's just ask him. Right. Do you believe that all Palestinians in Gaza, for example, should be removed?
No.
Not removed, brutally massacred.
Okay.
That's what's happening.
Well, I mean, I'm getting there. Do you think that they should be unalived?
No.
Right. Thank you.
Okay,
Sorry.
so barring that, they've already destroyed, over 80% of all infrastructure in the area.
That's because Hamas is using the Palestinians as human shields.
That's a
They're going
talking
after
point.
The terrorists.
That's a
It's
talking
not a talking
point.
Israel is literally letting people know we're going to be in this area looking for the terrorists.
It's a talking point. Listen, if there's one terrorist in a building and you think that you should just take the entire building down to get the one person and you unalive 400 other people, is that okay?
I don't know. It depends on what the value of that target would be.
Well, what do you feel? Is that okay?
I don't feel that it's okay, but that's such a wide question.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If
Well,
it was
it's
the
not.
number one terrorist that we're
Let me
looking
give him
for,
another example. I'll give you another example, sir.
Well, he said that he doesn't
Can I?
feel like that's okay, but so let's we can poke at that a little bit. That's
Go
what's
for it.
been happening, and if you don't think it's okay, don't you think that Israel, or at least their military and their intelligence agencies, are good enough that they could send in a team like they've been doing in West Bank, for example, for a long time, and find those terrorists, as you would call them? Why can't they do that? Why do they choose?
I have a better example.
Why do they choose? Why do they choose to take the building down? I mean, I know why. I don't think you will understand
At the end of the day,
why.
we don't know what the value of that target is in the military.
No.
Different targets have different values.
Here's an example.
80% of the infrastructure.
Let me give the
a
example.
high value target was inside 80% of all infrastructure in Gaza.
May I remind you, guys, hear me out. May I remind you that Ismail Haniyeh, which was one of the leaders of the H group in Gaza, okay, Ismail Haniyeh was assassinated in the middle of Tehran. In the middle of Tehran, he was assassinated. Not a single casualty other than him was unalive. So the Mossad and the intelligence and the capability that they have is so precise that in their most feared enemy and their nemesis, they managed to go in the heart of their nemesis and assassinate an H group leader without another single casualty. Yet they claim that in Gaza, a country, like a strip that is one of the most populated cities in the world. They claim that Hamas, a 50,000 group of resistance fighters, use their own family members as human shields.
Hassan,
please convince
why do
me.
none of the
Try to make
other
that make
Arabic
sense.
countries? I will. Why do none of the other Arabic countries want Palestinians in their country? Nobody wants to deal with the Palestinians.
Well,
they have been an issue forever.
I can actually answer that. I can answer that. When go ahead, Hassan.
His mic's off.
I'm sorry. I was just. I was gonna say it's very easy to answer that. Look at the foreign spending of the American government. The foreign spending of the American government. The highest paid country that is foreign is Israel. Who is the next one? Egypt. And you look after that, Jordan is next. I mean, it is.
That's one. That's one of the reasons. Yep, that's one of the reasons. The other reason is when Palestinians made their way into southern Lebanon, what did Israel do?
Shatila massacre, among others.
They took their land. They went in there and started bombing. And currently we're seeing it right now. So the other nations know that wherever these people go, Israel will invade and take the land, which they did do. And that created, for the record, nobody's fucking with Israel.
Let the host speak, bro.
Everybody's fucking with Israel.
That is what
nobody
is fucking with Israel, bro. That is what created Hezbollah. When they invaded another fucking country and took the land, Hezbollah, a militia, freedom fighters, patriots of Lebanese patriots came together and said, fuck you. And now y'all call Hezbollah a T group, even though it was born from necessity because another fucking country went into another country and took land. Like, I don't know why this is okay.
Why did the president of Lebanon come out and say to illegalize the T groups that are over there? And they said that they were going to go after themselves. That was 3 weeks ago.
I didn't hear the first part of that because Hassan, just hold on, because I didn't hear what Get said because you were, Get. What did you say?
Because
like 3 weeks ago.
I want to clarify. Okay, sorry.
Like 3 weeks ago, might even be a month ago now, the Lebanese president came out and said that they are not supporting the T groups in the south part of the country or whatever it is. I mean, they're going to be using force against them as well. That's the Lebanese people. It's not the infiltrator T groups that are there.
No.
Support right. Yeah.
Can I?
Hold on, Hassan. I've got a couple new people I need to get to, so I don't even know that there's much to rebut here because these guys are just going to disagree. Anything Israel does, good. Anything anybody that isn't Israel does, bad. That's really what we're doing.
You're running a great panel. There's a very clear black and white rebuttal that would prove that all his bullshit is not true.
And Hassan, I did want you to know there are articles in the UN the charter that says that Palestinians can be considered prisoners of war and thus do have the right to resist and, fight for their freedom. So I would have to send that to
And let
liberal.
them fight. Let them keep fighting.
Shh. Okay.
Don't shh.
We got another shusher.
Right. It's a very typical liberal lefty thing.
I'm a mother of 7. I haven't touched anybody.
Of course you are.
I'm not going to dog any shushers because we got a lot of people that need to be shushed on the panel. No shade to anybody up here. Look, I get excited too. It's a very passionate topic, so I'm not even mad at anybody really.
Liberal, I don't agree with you, but I like you.
Well, I appreciate that. But let me get to the two new people. I think Catalyst, I don't know. I'll just go Catalyst and then Dewey. Catalyst, did you want to weigh in? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The problem is, as much as you guys want to sit there and simp and justify and espouse, any sense of, commitment to is not real. They're committing atrocities, for God's sakes. True. Atrocities. Okay, not even WAR crimes. I mean, just some of the most sickest, messed up shit you can imagine. Okay, these guys are psychopaths. Okay, and we as a country need to be done with them and say is not real was a failed experiment to get a foothold in the region.
Never going to happen.
We cannot be alive with them anymore.
Take them out. Never going to happen.
We just started talking, you guys. Can you just let him get a point across?
As itty bitty bumps in.
I'm not actually opposed to that.
Let me just add this, because normally I wouldn't allow the over talking and the interrupting and all that stuff, but it's Sunday. It's an impromptu thing, so I'm just kind of letting it go a little bit. Don't take too much advantage of that, okay? But this isn't a normal panel for anybody that's new into the show. Tomorrow you'll see it'll be a little different. But Catalyst, I think I missed what you had said. I was reading a comment. What was it that you said that everybody else was like, oh my God?
I said is not real is committing atrocities. And they're basically a psychopath factory. The IDF is just a bunch of psychopaths because of what they do. They are waging full scale WAR. And that means they have certain protocol for what they are supposed to do and are justified in doing to the children of their enemies, be it Palestine and Lebanon and whatever. And you need to talk to a Zionist a couple of times before you really understand. You'll find them on this app. Go find a Zionist and then get them to start talking and see what they say.
You don't have to look very far.
Make you think twice.
I'm right here.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Well,
we got two of them
right here.
You're a fan of attacking children. You're a Zionist. World peace.
I'm not a fan of attacking children. Are you a fan of Iran unaliving 40,000
children unalive?
Yeah, nobody wants children hurt.
That's what's happening in Gaza, and you guys know that, so don't.
But the Israelis do stuff like that all the time.
Of course they do. And the T groups never do any atrocities, right?
The death penalty.
Let me throw something.
The Israelis are a T group.
Dewey wanted to say something.
Let's talk about Iran.
Yeah, welcome up, Dewey. Good to see you.
How you doing?
How you doing, Dewey?
Go ahead, man.
Go, Dewey.
So let's talk about Iran. In particular, let's talk about what happened if they get a nuclear weapon. How is that a threat to the United States?
Existential.
No, I'm asking Ugg. That's all I can see.
How is it? Because they're the number one sponsor of terrorism around the world.
But how does them having a nuke affect America?
I can explain it to you. I can't make you understand it there, Dewey.
I'm asking you the question.
I just told you.
Answer the damn
They're the number
question.
one sponsor of terrorism around the world. It would get
So
used
how does
against
them
us.
having a nuke mean a threat for America?
Here's
Follow up
the
with a
exact
question.
truth of what that
Oh
would
God,
mean.
here's the truth.
It would mean absolutely nothing to the United States. Absolutely nothing.
Dewey,
And let me
you're a
finish.
veteran, aren't you? Dewey, you're
Pardon?
a veteran. You're not concerned about the 232 Marines, Hobart Towers that were taken out by Iran?
Sir. North Korea is ran by the dictator.
No, I'm asking. I'm talking to Dewey.
Dictator.
Hassan,
Kim
get back in your
Jong-un.
corner. I'm talking to Dewey.
Kim Jong-un always threatens America, okay?
Good.
And he has
They
that
have
nuclear
nukes.
power already. Why didn't they act on that?
I'm talking to Dewey. Dewey.
Yeah, what?
Those were other soldiers like yourself. You weren't concerned about them? Iran took them out.
That is not the subject I'm bringing up.
Well,
I'm bringing
like
up
if
the
you're-
subject.
Hey,
Okay, so the
Go
standing
ahead.
question. Let me pause. The standing question is: why is it such a threat to people that Iran have a nuclear weapon? Somebody answered that question and said because it's an existential threat to the U.S. I believe was the answer. Is that am I right?
The world.
Yes, that's I said that.
Okay.
Yes.
The world.
And the claim is that Iran is the world's largest sponsor of terrorism, which I disagree with. I think that's made up. I think everything that isn't Israel is terrorism, according to some people. I think that's what we're dealing with here. Because let's be honest, if Iran was actually funding these terrorist groups called Hamas, Hezbollah, for example, don't you think they would have a bunch of drones and a bunch of missiles that could really do some damage? And yet they don't. They
do.
don't.
They use them all.
They don't. They may have common interest, but nobody's funding anybody to a level that's actually useful.
So here's
Are
my
you saying
point.
Iran's not funding
Except the
Hamas?
U.S.
and
funding
Hezbollah?
And it goes back to
Is that what you're saying?
Shia. It
No.
goes back to Sunni
The
Shia
U.S.
as well.
is funding and equipping and arming Israel with anything and everything. They
That's
basically
true.
have a blank check.
So
That has to
if-
stop.
That's
If
true.
Iran had a nuke, it would make absolutely no difference to the United States because
None.
they don't have the ability
I agree. It'd be the
to get a nuke in the United States.
Right.
Period. They
could be-
don't
I mean,
have
it would be the
armament
same
to
as
do
we
that.
know Russia has
Period.
nukes, but they're not
They're a superpower.
poised to
Completely
use
different
them.
scenario.
Trump said that we destroyed their capabilities. Did he not say we destroyed their capabilities months ago, and then he says that they have nukes and we need to go to war with
Yeah,
them?
we missed it. We make mistakes. Yep, you're right. We
He
make
also
mistakes.
claimed to,
We
have
make
destroyed
mistakes.
their navy, their
He's
entire
lying.
navy.
He's
Yeah,
lying.
Right, he was lying. Absolutely. Just like they lied to get us into Iraq and Afghanistan, all to the benefit of one nation that isn't even us.
There was a list of 7 Arab nations that the United States military, aka Israel, wanted to dismantle. And they have gone after all of them. Many of them have fallen. Iran is basically the only one left standing. But they're not like the rest of them. Trump is going to find out why all these presidents...
Come on. Anybody, you need to head over to Iran. Please leave.
Listen, can I say something?
I
He's
can't
bitching
stand
about
listening to Americans stiff.
Listen,
Oh, God.
Wait,
Are
Disgusting.
such
I want to say
Disgusting.
something.
So, well, Itty Bitty, go ahead and, guys, let Itty Bitty finish her statement. Go ahead, Itty Bitty.
So Trump is threatening a genocide against an entire people in Iran if they don't open the Strait of Hormuz, which was open before he started this war. So I am just fucking saying to support everything he does. It is foolish. You could just admit that you were wrong and that he's making too many mistakes. So it has to be on purpose at this point.
Impeach him.
Yeah, it is purposeful. We
Impeach him
will
then.
take Iran. 100%.
We will not
Get
take
it, girl.
Iran.
You tell them.
We will
Get it,
lose.
girl.
We'll lose. There's another one that's got to go.
We will lose.
Okay,
That's
you
a-
might lose. We're not going to
We're
lose.
going to lose to Iran?
We're gonna lose. We're gonna lose just like we look when you go to somebody's when you go to somebody's country to like take it. We saw what happened in Vietnam. We saw what happened. Thank you, Well-Being. We saw what happened in Vietnam. We saw what happened in Iraq and Afghanistan. Iran is over twice the size of both of them combined. You ain't taking it. You aren't taking it.
Their people will
We're
take
not
it.
the Department
We're
of
holding back the Kurds in the north right now.
They won't.
The Kurds want to go in
They
and take
won't.
Department
We're
of
holding them
War.
back.
It won't happen.
This isn't going to work out the way.
Are totally different.
Let me make this point. We shouldn't do that. We shouldn't be going over
We're not
there
going to.
and pushing people to do this. We
We're
need
not
to stop
doing it.
meddling in everybody's shit. We need to stop.
As soon as the world's secure,
We need to stop
as
making
soon
our
as the world's secure,
The world will never be secure.
you're right.
We've
So we
been
probably will never
meddling
be
in the
able to
Middle
stop.
East
That's
since
unfortunate.
1979, and where's it got us?
Yeah,
We're
let me
still in the
remind
friggin'
you-
Middle
hold on.
East. We're bogged down in bullshit.
Who's
and
bogged
even
down?
you
I don't see
have
us
to
being
admit
bogged
that.
down.
Okay.
Yes.
Can
Dude, can you let one
can I
person
say
finish
something?
a sentence? You're
Yeah.
really rude.
Hassan is actually, Hassan has been patient. Thank you, Hassan. Did you want to jump in real quick? Go ahead.
Is that okay? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Was
no,
that-
you're
was that a
fine.
rude
You're
one?
fine. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, thank you so much. I just want to remind everybody about the power dynamics. We're talking about the mightiest empire to exist on this earth, which is America, with this military industrial complex, 800 bases around the world, that is currently in conflict with a country that has been sanctioned for 40 years, a country that has been trying to strive and survive based on and sustain itself by itself. Okay, how how can you make sense when you compare the power dynamics and then tell me that the mightiest empire to exist on this earth cannot handle a country that was barely surviving? They're getting oppressed
Thank you,
by
madam.
their own government, a dictatorship.
Thank you.
Sorry, that's it.
Good point. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hassan. And
yeah.
that's
Thank
the
you,
truth.
Hassan.
Can I say something?
Who
They have
said
no
that? Was that Get? That's funny. Well, yeah, Ferry, you're welcome to jump in there, but I thought maybe one of those two would want to respond to it, but go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Let them respond, and then I'll speak.
Yeah, did either one of y'all want to? Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I do. So, I mean, if let's look at it realistically. We haven't gone in to destroy the infrastructure because the hope is that the Iranian people will actually take control of their country and not the religious minority.
So wait, are we invading them for them to gain control, or are we invading them for us to gain control?
We're not invading anybody. There will be no
just did.
invasion.
Okay.
We don't have any boots on the ground.
There will be no invasion.
So basically, you want the United States to kick off a coup, is what you're saying.
They already have.
Right.
They already have.
Well, no, they tried.
Well, I just heard
weaponizing
that
the
their
Kurds.
leader now has gone against the IRGCA or whatever, their lead spokesman. So, I mean, that was a couple hours ago. But yeah, no, it's gonna be strangled to where it's gonna have to.
Yeah, and look, we did this in the 50s, right? We already did this once in the 50s, and then the people of Iran took it back.
No, this was
Yeah, they did.
Iran was the most democratic.
Yes, they
country
did.
in
Yeah,
the Middle
yeah,
East.
they did.
They took it back.
1979, when the Shah
Right,
left,
the
Iran.
Yeah, the
mullahs.
people took it back. So even if you were to be
Yeah.
successful
Not
now,
the people.
you give it
Come
give
on,
it a
man,
couple
not
of
the people.
generations, they'll take it back, and then we'll be right back here where we're.
Iranians-
Oh my God, they're so bad. The problem I have really is that we think we have a right to go and dictate who controls somebody else's country, because
I disagree.
currently the people of the United States, we can't even get our legislators to pass the majority of legislation being something that benefits the people. The majority of legislation is written by and written for corporations. So the people that are running our country aren't even doing it for us. Yet we turn around and
Where's our help?
we turn around and we tell the Iranian people that we're going to come in and take over your government, and like, it's weird. It's don't do as we do as we say.
Nah, it's way deeper than that, man. It's way deeper than that. It has to do with religion. Absolutely, it has to do with the falling of Islam I mean, the
Who cares
Iranians,
about what
the
somebody
young
believes
Iranians
in?
are not following the religion
cares?
and the numbers.
Wait,
can I speak,
yes.
Barry?
No,
And then
because you
you
don't
can
let
blabber
anybody
on with whatever
else.
you got.
I mean, hey, she got a fair point, man. When you interrupt
You
everybody else.
interrupt everybody on this channel when
Fair
they're
play.
talking, so I
But
can interrupt you.
that said, I am interested in hearing what he was saying because he was talking about the fall of Islam. But what was the point you were getting to?
So my point is that Islam has lost a stronghold in Iran. Yes, it's still a very central part of who they are, but the young people are not. Go ahead. I'll wait.
I'm sorry.
I think she's fucking with you, man. Like, you should have followed that up with, "How does that feel, motherfucker? Doesn't like it, you don't like it, do you?"
Oh no, don't do that. You'll get bullying and get fucking kicked out the fucking
That's
line.
true.
Well, watch yourself then. Don't be bullying people. See how you liberals are?
Anyway, go ahead and land your plane. Go ahead and land your plane again.
So that's what I'm saying. I mean, you got to look at this. I mean, we're not going to get into the whole religious thing, but, there's a definite difference between Saudi Arabia and Iran, and it's, goes between all the different countries, what side they follow. So this is a whole shuffling of the Middle East. And we are not going to go in and put boots on the ground. You'll probably see the 82nd jump in on Cog Island or whatever it is to secure that. You'll probably see that. You'll see special ops, but we are not going to do that. We want them. That's why we're not destroying their infrastructure. Look at it from that angle. We are not destroying their infrastructure. We could do that in one day because we want them to be successful in building their own country.
That's quintessential colonization language there. We're here to save you. We're your saviors. And by the way, real quick, before I get lost in it, thank you all for 100K. We reached 100K taps. Thank you all so much. Appreciate it. Let's just keep tapping because TikTok wants us to always tap, and we've got to be a little faster meeting these gifting goals. If I'm talking, please don't jump in there. I'm talking about my gifting. I'm doing a PSA, which I don't even like doing anyway. I hate asking people for anything, but I have to because TikTok wants us to do that. So let's hit these gifting goals a little faster. If I need to reduce the number, I'll do that, but it really supports the show and pushes it out to the FYP. The colonizer language, though, and what you just said, and I know you don't see it that way, but it's so ingrained in your thought that it just comes out without a thought. Like that really is that's the white savior. I mean, basically, is what it boils down
who's
to.
white? We're not white. Have you seen our military?
It's the ideology. Don't take it personally. It's the ideology.
Yeah, it's not. But it's not. That's a racial statement.
But it is. But it is.
It's not.
That's the thing. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is. Iran is the savages, so we've got to make them like
Nobody
us.
said they were savages.
That was quick.
Opinion.
Micah, thank you.
That's your
Thank you,
opinion.
Micah. Yeah, that was quick, guys, and thank you. Okay,
Can I respond to him?
Hassan, sure. Yeah, jump in there.
Thank you so much. So he is claiming that they did not destroy their infrastructure. They're not trying to take them back to the Stone Age as their president claimed. He is saying that that's not the intention. The intention is to destabilize and trying to change the regime and rescue the Iranian people. But the thing is, the facts are, the country that was sanctioned for 40 years managed to manufacture $30,000 drones that were deployed in such a way that the Iron
Thank you,
Dome,
Madam Manuel. Thank you. That was quick.
Thank you.
Keep going. Whenever
Sorry.
I'm thanking them, you can just run right through. I got to give a shout out to the people gifting. I appreciate it. Go ahead, Hassan.
Yeah. What I want to make, the point that I want to make is that B-52 bombers were used in the first time that they claimed that they devastated their uranium enrichment capabilities. Okay, B-52 bombers, that is the most advanced,
B2.
most expensive B2 bombers. Okay,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sorry. Yeah. Okay, and number two, the drones that I was talking about, that Iran manufactures about 500. I don't know what the number is, but I think 500 a day they manufacture of them. They cost $30,000. Their purpose is to distract the Iron Dome in order for the hypersonic missiles to reach their target. Those drones How do Israel and America defend against those drones? By using the THAAD missile systems, which one THAAD missile system cost $1 million to produce, and always about 1 to 3 of those $1 million missiles it takes to take down one of those drones.
It's unsustainable. It's unsustainable.
We just sent new technology to the Middle East on one of our ships, and it's all laser. I don't know exactly the name of it.
Freaking laser beam.
Yeah, you laser beam them, and yes, we understand that. We understand that the drones are a threat. I mean, look at Ukraine.
Thank you, Micah.
That.
Thank you, Micah.
I'll say this about.
I hear a female voice that I don't think has said much since. Who is that? Is that Itty Bitty?
Yes, I was asking why do we still have homeless veterans? We are talking about all this money we're spending to bomb this country and kill people, and we still have how many homeless veterans?
The veterans I know that are homeless.
32,000 out of 7 million.
It's
that's
terrible.
Unacceptable.
Even
That's
one.
unacceptable.
Even one is unacceptable.
The homeless veterans that I know want to be homeless.
You know all the homeless veterans.
I don't know all of them, but I'm very active in the homeless veteran world. Thank you.
People I know love being homeless. They love living under that overpass.
Yeah, most of them do. Ironically,
a lot of them
they don't.
A lot of them do. The majority of them do.
This one's news to me. There's like the veterans with PTSD. They want PTSD. That's what they wanted.
No,
that's
a different situation. They don't want the limbs that they were born with.
W. Micah. Micah. Thank you, Mike.
When we do outreaches for the homeless veterans that were living in the riverbeds, most of them are getting their checks. They want to be left alone and do their drugs. And you know what? Who am I to tell them anything different?
Wow. What the fuck?
Can you mute him so that somebody can
Oh my
talk on the
God.
panel?
Who is that that's asking me? Is that Ferry?
To talk, but everybody keeps talking over me.
Oh, Catalyst.
As a
Well, go
veteran,
ahead, Catalyst.
I do have something to say about this.
You've got something to say, so
I'm
go
not
ahead.
talking. No.
Or is
no, I
that
don't.
Dewey?
That's Dewey.
Yeah, that was somebody else.
Whoever said that people are talking over him, go ahead.
Okay, so, yes, there are 32,000 veterans that are homeless. Yes, that's a travesty. But the VA supplies help for anybody who asks for it who's homeless.
Truth.
Okay, so I just keep the veterans out of this because it doesn't have anything to really do with what we're talking about.
Thank you. If you're a veteran in need, we will take care of you.
The military does not treat the veterans right. I was a military wife. They pay them very poorly.
I'm sorry, Itty you're wrong.
I'm not. There's plenty of homeless veterans who are not taken care of.
Sorry,
right
you're wrong.
The VA has been funding has been cut. We know that. So I'm just saying, why spend all this money? Why are we spending all this money to bomb people and kill people and invade a country, but we can't even take care of the citizens in our country? That was my point.
Your point is wrong about the veterans. The VA is awesome.
Okay, so is the claim that the VA takes care of all the veterans, and any veteran that has a problem that isn't being taken care of is their own fault? Is that what?
There's exceptions. I'm not saying that. There's exceptions, boss. I mean, people have mental illness, but the VA, if you are qualified to receive benefits from the VA, they take care of you 100%. I don't care what anybody says. I live in the community. I'm a disabled vet. My wife's a disabled vet. My daughter's a disabled vet. I'm very familiar with the veteran community here in Texas.
Okay,
and Southern California.
That's
thank you for your service.
That is different from any rhetoric that I've ever heard. What I've heard is that they give them the runaround. They don't.
A government agency.
Well, here's the thing: if there's a homeless person that lost their birth certificate, they lost their this and their that or whatever, I don't know. The government should reach out to them, right?
They take care of them. I'm telling you,
take care of them.
The VA. I have the greatest I have all private doctors, the best doctors in my city.
Good for you. Many veterans.
Good for you. My son-in-law don't have that. My son-in-law lost part of his lung.
Everybody's got a story.
Okay, well, your story doesn't.
They do. Your story's yours.
I'm telling you, I've lived in the veteran community.
Your story doesn't apply to everybody else.
Why do you think your story is somebody else's? I'm just curious because I know veterans. I live in a city in California where there are extreme high numbers of homeless people. Some of them are veterans, and they don't only not take care of their housing issues, they also fuck them up mentally in these wars, and then they don't take care of them after that.
That's your opinion, man. That's your opinion.
No, that's a fact.
It's not a fact.
Yes, it's
I'm
a
telling
fact.
you, in my experience in dealing with veterans and myself.
Go and search about how many PTSD.
Oh God, Hassan, come on, man, stay on top
How
of what
many
you know.
soldiers come back with PTSD because of the
doesn't
shit
matter.
that happened?
It doesn't matter.
That
All of them
resulted
do.
in zero
All of them
objectives
do.
met.
It doesn't
Bro,
matter. All of them do.
Yes, it
Actually,
does.
it does matter.
Those people have missed their daughters' birthdays, sacrificing their life and time, going to defend their country, thinking
You're right,
that
and we
there's
volunteered
weapons
to
of
do
mass
this. You're
destruction.
right, absolutely.
If anything, the least that the government should do is give them compensation for
And
the
they do.
sacrifices that they have
They
made for
do.
nothing.
They
And
don't.
they do.
Not all.
Okay.
No, they
You're
don't.
lucky.
Okay.
You're one of the lucky ones then. Can
Okay,
I say
so-
you're one of the lucky ones?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think all of us agree that veterans should be taken care of. Can we all agree on that?
Yes.
So if there's a gap in the system that allows, almost 200,000 veterans last I checked being homeless, we need to fix that. Like having them be more proactive rather than just react to a complaint being lodged to them, right?
We're out there, bro. We're out there through our cities.
Are there?
We're out there.
So the
We're out
government
with
goes
programs.
out and
The cities
looks
do,
for.
yes.
Okay.
Our cities, almost all cities have veteran outreach programs. They have VFWs, they have
Okay.
American Legions. We
Wasn't
take
the
care
VA
of our veterans.
Wasn't the VA defunded?
Who would know better on
By
this
Doge?
panel? Just a minute. Who would know better on this panel than you get, who's disabled, he and his wife, who proudly served this country, and they're
Okay,
both disabled.
blah, blah, blah,
I mean,
diatribe.
this guy is the epitome of the right person
Yeah, he's
defending
still
our
fucking
country.
dumb as shit on
My
lots of
son-in-law. Okay, my son-in-law was a guard at Guantanamo Bay, and he got in the lung, lost part of his lung, and then he got PTSD really bad, and a psychologist in the VA said, no, he has bipolar. So he only gets 60% retirement, and he's missing half of one of his lungs.
Remedical.com. Remedical.com. That's all I can tell you.
Well, now, do you think that there are things that you aren't aware of that are causing some people to fall to the wayside and that we need to
I'm going to tell you
fill
one
that?
thing, man. I am like when you talk. I don't brag about being a veteran. I'm very proud of that. But I am when I say I'm engaged. I'm from San Diego, so I know that community very well. And I now live out in San Antonio. I retired and moved to San Antonio, and I can tell you, I have been freaking actively engaged with veterans in two massive veteran communities. And don't get me wrong, we have issues, but the majority of the people, we get taken care of. There's exceptions to every rule. We're not perfect. It's a government agency, but I will tell you that they take care of me like I'm a first rate, whatever. My wife also is 100% disabled vet. They do everything for us. So there's exceptions to every rule.
Do you think because you're from a large city like San Diego, which really is a great city, I used to live there, don't you think other places that aren't as well funded or maybe aren't as blue as California, maybe it's not as great for some veterans like some other
Doesn't have
women?
anything to do with blue.
Let me
Yeah, it does.
Let me also say that if having respect for the military is to not send them in harm's way unnecessarily in the first place.
But we have to have these rights, bro.
Well, when
sit there.
no, there's not a war in my lifetime that we fought for my rights. And in fact, my rights have been diminished over the course of my lifetime. While we've been in wars of choice, not necessity, not a single war in my lifetime and even before has been fought to protect a single thing for me. None of them.
I'm not a politician. We're just door kickers. You know what I mean? I'm not a politician, bro. I don't know what to tell you on that.
And we
I
should
serve my
respect.
country. That's it.
We should respect their willingness to sacrifice their own lives to protect our rights by only using them to protect our rights, not the right of a corporation to have somebody else's oil, not the right of, an industry to be able to get resources that it needs. None of that stuff. It should only be about our values and protecting that when we're attacked.
I think everybody should have the opportunity to go serve in a foreign country and see where human life has zero value. Right. And you would probably appreciate what we have here because everybody takes that for granted. Everybody's so soft in the United States. When you go to countries where your life means nothing, it means nothing.
Look at Europe. Europe doesn't have the same freedoms and sovereignty as. Why do you think America is the greatest country in the world? America is number one in incarcerated people per capita. America is number.
Because we have laws. You're right. We have laws.
Listen to me, man. Belgium has
laws
look at Norway. Look at Sweden. Look, UAE is one of the safest places in the world until you started that Iran conflict, and for that reason, the American assets in that country was targeted. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about? Your president ran his campaign talking about he wants. Bro, he wanted to win the.
How can he relax? How can
Captain
you relax
America.
when somebody just told him?
You're spewing nonsense, man.
Yes. Like he's saying that Hassan's people don't have any value. That's awful. You just said that and you can't deny that because we can read.
Yeah, I said where life has no value, right? Listen to what I'm saying.
Life in the U.S. has no value.
30,000.
Of course it does.
No. According to this government and the corporations that run it, our life has zero value. Only what we can
about
produce.
These corporations that fund millions.
That's
of
who run everything.
Funds.
That's who runs everything.
They're paying for half of the United States' retirement funds.
Let me just say this. If in the United States our lives had actual value, every American would have free health care. Every one of them.
Israel to have
That is not true.
Yes, it is true. Because if you value life, if you valued life, you would ensure that it perpetuates. You wouldn't say only if you can afford it.
Right.
Well, yeah, you can't just sit. You got to get. America was founded on getting out there and working. Yeah.
No,
which is you just proved me right. You just agreed with me, and you didn't realize it. I said the only value that you have is that which you can produce.
Yeah,
the thing is, nobody owes you anything.
Nobody. I'm not saying that anybody owes you anything.
You just said we owe you.
Listen. I'm going down the road that you built. You said that those people over there, they don't value life, and I'm saying that they don't value life here. And you just agreed. You said if you aren't going to do this, you don't believe that life is valuable. So you just are arguing the thing you just claimed existed over there, and it exists here too. So do they get to come and colonize us?
Can you go to an emergency room and get free medical care?
And go bankrupt?
Absolutely.
And go bankrupt?
Anybody can.
And go bankrupt?
No.
I mean, I don't know what the financial situation
all
is.
They do is stabilize you and send
You're
you
a coward.
home
Say it
if
to
you
my
don't
face.
have insurance.
I have a question.
Can World
That's
Peace
their
say
only
what he said to
obligation.
me in the chat in my face? I'm not part of the rainbow community. I'm an ally of the rainbow community. I have children. I've been their stand-in mother.
Shut up, you.
You're a piece of crap, dude. I hope I get bullied. But you know what? Yeah, you are. You're a terrible human being. You really are.
Guess who?
Liberal.
Liv, you're fabulous. We love Liv. You're awful. You're awful. The things that you say are cruel.
What's sad is that you are reflecting on your children.
Gosh,
you're raising children to have your same thought process.
You're not going to talk over
you don't
me because
shush,
I'm
man.
done with
Sorry,
you talking
woman.
over me.
Wait. Okay, hold on real quick. You just said that you're raising your children to have your thought process. like, of course.
Yeah, he can't handle a strong woman. That's what's wrong with these people.
I didn't get any violation that popped up. So unless, it's possible TikTok just yanked him, because they did that to Ball Talk the other day too, where it just dropped.
Well, his phone died.
His phone died?
I hope that he doesn't come back for quite a while.
But yeah, I thought it was interesting. He said that you teach your children your same ideology. Well, of course, like, who would, if you didn't like your own ideology, I don't know, like, I don't agree with myself, so I'm not going to teach my children the things that I believe. Like,
yeah, but of all
that
things,
doesn't make any
jumps
sense.
to, I'm gonna have an opinion about Fairy's parenting.
I don't.
Not just her political opinions, also that implying that if she shares her politics with her kids, she's abusing them.
Right? But they
That
can
was
share
elite.
their politics, right? But not
Down
the left.
everybody's throat, not just their own kids. They're like, "You're gonna believe this shit too, motherfucker."
And I cannot stand the fact that they can't let anyone finish. Dude, shut the hell up and let us talk.
His wife is still pissed. She's like, "Bro, did it ever happen? Are you ever gonna let me finish?"
Right? Like, and
I'm
he
just
really
sick-
only
I'm sick
interrupted
and
when
tired.
it was a woman. I mean, that was when he was the worst. That's why I kept going and going and going and going and going. I'm not that lady.
Welcome in, madam. Welcome aboard, madam. Newest panel. Let's hear her out.
Good
What's up?
morning.
Good morning.
I am just so fucking sick and tired of these goddamn white supremacist motherfuckers. If you don't like what's happening, then go over there and fight for them, okay? If you want to simp for Israel,
I did, and
go
so did
put
Dewey.
on a fucking ITF badge and fight for them bitches. My kid is not gonna die for Israel, so fuck you, Zionist bitches.
And I by the way,
Now, don't
I
hold
did
back.
not
Say it the
stump
way
for
it is.
Israel. I have
Bullshit, motherfucker. You said to ethnically cleanse Palestinians. You're a sick bastard, and being
Badge,
old
move
is
them
not an
out, not
excuse for
unlike
being a
them.
racist piece of shit.
Move them out. Somaliland's beautiful this time
It's
of year.
their
That's
fucking
ethnically
land.
cleansing. That's ethnically
That's
cleansing.
ethnically cleansing, you piece of shit racist.
Now,
Why did they-
madam, you got a violation. Got to drop you.
Uh-oh. We'll miss you, madam.
Yeah. Well, thank you, madam. I appreciate it.
Thank you, madam.
let me make something
All right.
clear.
Let me. Okay, 10
Oh,
minutes.
boy.
So come back in
They
11
get
minutes.
so hot under the collar, and then they're gone.
Now, real quick, guys. Somebody wanted an update on the Spirit situation, so let me refresh the page here because they had paused. Yeah, it's still at the same. They still got the pledges paused. But think of this: in less than 24 hours, they have $22.8 million pledged towards buying up Spirit Airlines. And this, while I don't think it's going to happen, speaks to the fact that people are wanting to do something and they're willing to put some money forward to that. If we could go and buy up, for example, a hospital collectively so that the people own it and have a vote and a say in what it does, and then we create it as a nonprofit healthcare system that's open to everybody or whatever, we could do that if we wanted to, and we should do that.
We have this great experiment going on in New York City right now to that end.
Yeah, and it
Right on.
needs to keep going, because otherwise the only alternative we've run out of all options is the thing that exists right over there on the side of the screen, which is the lighter.
Well, yeah. Well, and Mr. World Peace, like he said, the first words of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights is "we the people." Not we, the Congress.
I've
not
got it right
we,
in
the
my
president.
hand right now. The blue book, the same one the host has.
Is it the same exact
Well, read
one, or see,
Well,
now
so-
this, guys, real quick, you can actually, this is a pocket constitution. It's $9.99. You can get
Give me a
it
page,
in my
give
shop.
me a page, and I'll tell you the first word on the page.
That it's the exact one. 31, page 31.
Okay, just a minute.
But yeah, you can pick
You're
this
gonna
up
get his
in
book.
my shop, and if you do, I'll get like $1.50 from the sale. And if I get 3 sales, they refund the price of this to me for pushing it out there and making other sales. So if you want to help,
Is that on your page?
yeah, it's in my shop.
Is that in your shop?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's and I don't I don't know where that is on my page. It's I guess on my profile.
At the top of the page, it says respecting territorial jurisdiction between different.
Oh, what did I say? Page 31. Let me see.
31, top first sentence.
Nope. It says be necessary to a choice in every case after the choice of the president, the person having the greatest number of votes of the electors. So it may be a different version of it, but yeah, this one exists.
Yours looks a little thicker, actually.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I knew I was wrong.
I'm sorry.
The compliment.
I'm sorry.
Kitty, that's fucking hilarious.
Now, I do have this one also, but this one was something I picked up like at a yard sale or something. Let me check page 31 and see what this one says. At the expiration of the 6th year. Okay.
Picture book. Does MAGA use picture books? Do they have a picture book on?
It does.
Adult coloring book to learn the Constitution.
I look at these things falling out of the sky on top of Gaza. I can understand that.
That's
I
funny.
wish you were there, buddy. I wish you were there to see it.
But
Me too.
I mean, these are very, very useful, though, these pocket constitutions. I've had that other one for a long time. That way you can, and like this one, the one that I have, it even it separates like your amendment, into, so if it's just one line or whatever, it'll be on a page on its own. It's easy to reference.
It's great. You know what? I'm really, really saddened that I didn't learn more about the Constitution when I was younger. Seriously. I think it should really be jammed down kids' throats, to learn our Bill of Rights, learn the laws.
You don't want that. They'd be blue.
That way.
They'd be left if you did that.
That's fine. If they're all blue, so be it.
They would be leftist if you did that.
It would not bother me if 100% were blue.
A constitutional class should be a requirement in every school in the country, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Criminal Justice 101 should be a requirement for all college students. All. Because I took it, that was one of my first classes.
Why don't they teach civics and stuff anymore? Why don't they teach the useful stuff in school anymore? They don't want you to be armed with this knowledge, it seems like.
Right.
Why not teach us our laws?
It's easier to control us if we're stupid.
Exactly.
I say that all the time.
Yeah, if we aren't armed with knowledge, they're like, oh, you can arm yourself with this pew-pew that'll unalive 12 people in a couple of minutes, but you can't be armed with knowledge. It's a problem, and
I think that they should teach kids how to cook, meal prep, stock, like candies, how to build a fire, how to use guns even. I think, pew-pews. I think they should arm our children, in public schools with this information.
Oh, and I figured it out real quick because I wasn't 100% sure. If you go to my profile and you'll see Showcase, I think. If you click on Showcase, it's my TikTok shop, and there are things in there that you can get.
Okay, I'll support that.
Okay, so I have something to say. Finally.
Yeah, what's up, man?
It used to be taught in high school. Actually, it was taught in grade school through high school, civics and social studies.
Yeah, I took it in school. They don't teach it anymore, though.
I know they don't, and that's not that doesn't help things.
Yeah, that's horrible.
I agree. I graduated in 2005, and we had this econ and civics class, and it was just normal, and I don't know why they changed that, but.
Well, I graduated high school in 1969, so.
And 59, do we?
Guys, I got to give a shout out to 69. Ray Day, real quick. Ray Day with 45,000 likes. Ray Day, holy shit, that's awesome. That's
We're
some
almost
work.
At 125.
Putting into work. Yeah, I saw that. And let me give a shout out to Kara with 11,500 likes, and Annie has got 1,800 likes. I think there's a few people with well over 1,000 likes. That's
I thought I was
awesome.
1,000. I thought I was a hero, but I'm really liking them.
Raw with 3,800. No, that's awesome, guys. Thank you all so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Nice. Anyway, Ray Day, no, you do. Damn, that's like a third of all of the likes that I've got.
Is that an automatic tapper?
I don't know. Maybe you know what? I'm not going to question it, and we won't talk about it because if such things exist, speaking of automatic tappers, it can also be used as. Hold on, I got to pull this clip up. Okay, y'all go ahead. I'm going to pull this. I'm going to play it. Fuck it. Why not? It'll make sense whenever I play it. Sorry if it's confusing until we get to that point. Some people have already seen it. Anyway, so, well, back to the Spirit Airlines. What are y'all's thoughts on this? Because the government has basically made it so that people can't collectively buy these large institutions like that. Because they're capped at...
Yeah, he's going to give each plane to one of his cabinet members.
Who? Oh, Trump?
Yeah.
Well, my point being,
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
So you can't, as people, there's a cap to the number of non-accredited investors. It's capped at 5 million. So if a company were to raise over $5 million from non-accredited investors, meaning non-wealthy people, they can't. They can't go above 5 million. So there's no possible way for us to collectively buy Spirit Airlines as far as that goes. And I think we should. But again, it's to protect the wealthy classes. I can't see any other reason for it. I mean, they claim it's to prevent us from being scammed, but I mean, that's ridiculous because they're scamming us all the time.
We don't know that.
Didn't the government buy it?
The government can, but we're talking about...
they're letting it go under.
The government is letting it go under, but I mean, I don't like that thought because... Oh, here we go. Here's the tapper. This is... I don't know if this is a version of a tapper or not, but this was for my haters who would hate watch the show. I made this video. Here we go. Let me unmute. There we go. Oh, all right.
For all the females that hate watch me, and I know you love me, that's a great Christmas gift for you. So you can use that while you watch the show and hate me. Oh, liberal, I can't stand you anymore, liberal. Oh.
That is the best.
So I don't know if that's the kind of tapper, but if that's the kind of tapper you got, it functions as other things. Anyway,
I need one, Lib. I need one.
I need one. Where do I get one of those?
You can get it from the TikTok shop. It's only $12.99. Smile not included.
There's a happy ending, but it's not from me.
I just love his show. Sorry, guys.
I've had people get nervous when I said I had an auto tapper, and they're all like, "Oh no, TikTok won't let you use that." And I'm like, "I bought it on the TikTok shop. I think they're okay with it. I mean, they sold it to me."
That's like having a silent. That's like having a silencer on your gun is illegal, but you can go buy them somewhere.
Well, that's more like a bump stock, I think.
They're not all illegal. My son
It's like
has one
having a
in
bump
Florida.
stock
He just
on your
pays a fee for it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I don't know if we can have one in our
it's illegal unless you pay more money. You got it. It's
Right.
Right.
unless you pay
I think
more.
it's like $400. You can have a silencer.
Or like the radar detectors, they're illegal. To be able to tell if there's a cop ahead, they're illegal, but you can still buy them. Don't make any sense.
I have Google Maps for that. Google Maps will tell you.
My grandpa used to tell me that detected like automatic shopping doors opening, and he had it in his car, but it was a police, a radar detector.
Right, and it's always something to keep us down, right? So they can keep picking our pockets a little bit at a time.
Hey, host.
What's up?
Do you remember Cheech and Chong?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, well,
Save the whales.
Tommy Chong went to federal prison, I think, for either 3 months or 6 months, just for selling paraphernalia. It wasn't even schmug.
Yeah, it was. I think it was because he had crossed state lines because he was mailing it to people who bought it. Yeah, I remember that.
Right.
Yeah, it's I mean,
ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Yeah, it is ridiculous. Even though,
By the way,
you can use a pop can. I don't know if you guys know that, but you can just
You can use an apple.
you could use an apple. I mean,
host, you must know by now I voted for Trump. That being said, Ferry is an absolute advocate, I think, here, pro-choice, so am I. And I also, for a guy that never used schmugs, if it was up to me, I'd legalize them all. 100%.
100%.
It would save
I'm the same
hundreds
way.
of billions of dollars, okay, between the prison system, between
Yeah.
law enforcement, between DEA, and unalignment.
Well,
But
the
that's
war
not-
on drugs isn't a real thing.
It's all profitable. Prison
I'm
system
sorry?
is very profitable.
Yep. Very much so.
More giggle bush. And see, that was something that irritated me. I'm like, Trump had a chance here to do something that even liberals would be like, fuck yeah.
Right.
And he squandered it. He only moved the classification of medical marijuana, even though it's the same marijuana. Like, it's still okay for you as medical marijuana as it is as non-medical, right? It's like, if it's okay for one, why the fuck wouldn't you just do it for both? Like,
Well,
come
because
on.
now doctors make money. That's why.
Yeah. Regulation, it's profitable.
I live in Colorado where like there's some common sense, I guess, and we can do all sorts of crazy rugs.
Uh-huh.
They keep decriminalizing more and more and more rugs. So yeah, this is me in Colorado, self-medicating.
Are you in the mountains or
Psilocybins.
flat?
I am on the western slope, which is kind of as the mountains flatten out and turn into desert.
I know exactly
You
where
have
you
to
live.
go over the
Like
mountains
Boulder
to get
type
to
of thing?
Denver. No, farther
I may
west,
not be
way,
in the
way
mountains,
west.
He lives on
but
the.
I'm always pretty high.
Western slope of
There
Colorado.
you go.
I don't
I
want
know
to say the
exactly
name.
where you're at.
I'm a little hesitant
I
because
used,
I'm
I
a
used to
real
live in
asshole
Uray.
on this
I
app,
used
and
to
I
live
don't
in
want to
Uray
dox
and
myself.
Breckenridge. You know those
Uray?
areas?
I
Yep.
lived in Uray until I was 3.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, I was there about 25 years ago.
No kidding. That's pretty
I
cool.
can't wait
So
for-
you know
I
my
loved it.
area. You know the area. It's
we need more
Fun Junction.
psychedelics.
There were 800 people. There were 800 people when I was there. And when you were
Move
3,
to
it probably
Oregon.
was.
They're legal there. You can go to a store for them.
I've wanted to order some, but they won't even ship to my state. I'm like, these fuckers. Like, I mean, I hear it's good for a
Just
lot
come
of
visit.
things. Yeah.
What?
And
Bring your wife and come visit.
I do
Okay.
need to do that. I do need to do that. We'll go out, getting the cow patties. And is there one in here? Although that's what I hear. I don't know if that's true or not. But
Yeah, that's the best place. That is the best place. But
it's like,
yeah.
wait. So you're telling me we're smoking dog shit? It's got a little Labrador in it.
All right.
I chased my
It's
dog
like
around for
drinking
3
that
days
coffee.
with a bag. It really blew the dog's mind, man.
So I don't have to call you host all the time.
It's
What's
like
your
that
first name?
coffee that the monkeys shit out
could
the
just
beans
call me
in. It's
Lib.
really expensive.
Lib? Okay.
Yeah, Lib, LLM. Tim is my real name. Tim.
Okay.
Like
So, Tim, let me run something
Timothy.
by you. I want you to think how liberal this idea is. If you not only legalized all schmugs, I would advocate giving them away free at a pharmacy. And the reason for that, you'd break the back of the cartels. How do you sell something when you're giving it away free?
I talk
Right.
about this all the time on here, do I not, guys?
I'm serious.
Everybody.
I have total agreement on that then.
Yes.
I really
I
Now,
want to call it
now,
something. There
now,
needs to be a war on addiction.
I will say
There needs to-
it's to the people that are already addicted to it. I wouldn't suggest giving it to people free if they aren't already hooked on it. They should be able
So
to
you
get.
want to get them on it?
Well, they, if they're already that way, for example, the opiate, problem that was created
But
by a bunch of wealthy people.
But that's fentanyl.
They
Those
shouldn't
are
have
the
to suffer.
street stuff.
Yeah, but you can reduce that to something else that isn't fent. A lot of them get that because it's what's available, and it doesn't take much.
But you could, you would save probably close to 100,000 lives a year because that's how many people are unalive per year because they get bad stuff on the street
from accident. That's right. That's right.
They're not trying to do that. They want this to happen so they can use it as a narrative and put it for fear and political reasons and all that. So that's why they won't do it.
Yeah, I am in favor of that.
Well,
Now,
here's what I think. I
Yeah.
think that they should legalize it and that the government should put a 3% excise tax on top of it and put that excise tax into free health care.
Yes.
That
good
there.
idea.
That sounds great. I advocate for free health care also.
That's a really good idea.
See, we're not so far apart.
Wait, so you're more liberal than you even realize, dude.
Yeah.
You are
liberal, a lot of
not.
social
You are
ideas.
not
You're
mega.
right.
Sorry. Hate to break it to you.
No, I never claimed to be.
She was a MAGA. She was like, you're having an identity crisis because there are things that I agree with conservatives on, and those were the things that we would always talk about. I was like, yeah, just wait, and then you're going to think I'm, unaliving people or I'm trying to woke your kids because, when it comes to things that I disagree with you on, we'll see. There's no identity crisis here.
Well, I tell people I'm so far left you get your pew pews back.
Right. That's good shit. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. This was a great live. I thought I really appreciate everybody that was up here, and to all of you that were gifting and tapping. Shit, we got 134,000 likes. I appreciate that, and I will be back tomorrow. We're gonna have a man panel from 9 to 11 Central. That's in the morning, 9 a.m. to 11. As always, the man panel is a safe space for men, as it were, to talk about men's issues, and then we'll transition to politics after 11 o'clock. So if you guys are interested in that, come check it out. We'll be there, and hopefully we'll see you there. Nice. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Thank you all so much. I can't do this without you.
Tim, you run a great panel. Thanks for having us up.
I appreciate it, man.
You.
Yep. Y'all
Sorry
have
for being a bully.
No, that's okay. That's all right. All right, we'll catch you guys later. Enjoy your weekend.
All right.
Peace.
Bye.